What's up, Dub Nation? Here at
Hi.
Tad Late with Dean. Glad to have you, Dean.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Zachary Richache is number one. A little bit late here. Oh, Dean, what is worse than bird poop on a windshield?
I don't know. What?
Tree sap.
Yeah.
Tree
You got a
sap
lot of tree
on the
saps in your
windshield.
window.
So I spent about 10 minutes unable to get the tree sap off my windshield, no matter how much soap I put in there. I guess Windex. I don't have Windex. Would that do it? Do you know?
I have no idea. No. I'm sure you can look up something online, though.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NBA draft, everybody. Tree
Yeah.
sap.
Welcome to the Tree Sap Chronicles.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this pronunciation guide from the NBA is just really small. Let me see what I can do.
It looks good on the screen.
Well, this page does, but not this page.
Oh, yeah.
So let me do something with that. Is anybody else here? Oh, we actually have people here already, but just haven't commented yet. So, yeah.
Please splash the like button.
Number one. Yeah, please splash the like button. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. Download this puppy. Okay. How's everything going, Dean?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Draft night, that's one of the last big nights of NBA basketball for a little while. So I'm enjoying that. Just all the coverage of not just who's getting drafted, but what you think teams are doing and everything. You got free agency and trade season and all that. But yeah.
We should put the NBA draft.net one on here. It's one of these. This one?
Did you hear about the Wizards trade?
Oh, yeah. Denny.
Yep, Denny Avdia.
Avdia.
Portland.
Pronouncing that for me.
To Portland for Malcolm Brogdon, I believe it was.
I think that's a pretty fair trade, and I just think you're going to see fair trades. I mean, people can argue that 5 first-rounders for Mychal Bridges is too much, but I mean that's.
Look, they didn't really have to give up any players though. The Knicks, and they,
yeah,
they're pretty close into contention. So it probably doesn't mean anything,
Final was Oso Ighodaro, as Eric G told us it would be Oso Ighodaro for tomorrow at 53, which is really 52 because Philly
right.
That.
Yeah.
Daniel Barry. Oh, Arbel on Twitch. Oh, thanks, Arbel. Yeah. Thanks for these. Helps me out instead of typing it in. So, yeah, NBAdraft.net. Official 52nd pick for GSW equals, this is their guess, based on all the above as well. Cam Spencer won't be there, according to them. Pell Larson won't be there. And Jalen Wells won't be there. Neither is USF player Jonathan Mogbo. Alex Sarr goes number 2. Thank you, Arbel. Oh, there it is. But yeah. Thank you, Eric G, for the intel. I still got to write the article on that. Oh man, I might have to go. Oops, pasted on the wrong place. I might have to go write an article, Dean. Draft watch party with all of the incorrect timestamps. Okay,
so far, pretty much consensus picks, it seems like.
Yes, sir. Let's scroll up.
2 Frenchmen in a row.
Friendly reminder. I won a pair of headphones, which I gave to Rebecca. Remember Rebecca?
Oh yeah.
It was
Like,
picked the lottery picks at the draft. This was probably 2019. It had to be before Wiseman. And yeah, it's probably the Jordan Poole draft.
nice.
And I won like by a comfortable margin, in fact. And I shouldn't have told them this because they were joking around, but I said, yeah, I just put in what NBADraft.net had, and I got all 14 right.
Hey, there you go. Well, trust the experts, man. You know,
Yes.
like my family friends, they do an Oscar party every year.
Oh, cool.
And,
that must be fun.
Yeah, and they have obviously the trophy for the winner, and they have the duck for the worst for the least amount of points. And me and my mom tend to win. I haven't done it after I got my one duck. My mom's had the duck a couple times. My dad's won it a couple times.
Yeah.
He actually researches the films.
Yeah.
Knows what the critics are going to pick, and that feels like kind of obvious, you know. But the people who were real involved in the draft and scouting these guys, they have a whole different life than anyone else really covering basketball. It's very unique, you know. They have to have a super international perspective, and it's not like they follow those guys through into the NBA. They have to move on so quickly. I really respect people who are really knowledgeable about the draft.
Yeah.
You know, that's just a lot.
They've already got like next year's.
They have to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
Yeah. Like especially, you know, Eric G. Loved having him on.
G.
And a couple times.
He told me some insider information today.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what. Can I say this? Do you want me to say it? Of course, everybody wants me
I want you to say it, but if you're asking the question, maybe.
No. Okay. It's safe to say this. I think his my personal opinion, I think his insider information on Klay is probably more reliable than a lot of stuff out there. I don't know for sure. It's just that I've gotten 2 little tidbits from him in succession. And I purposely said today when he told me insidery tidbit number 2, I was like,
yeah,
let's get this from the same source. He was like, yeah. So anyway, so that made me go, oh,
well,
it's a reliable source then. Pronunciations. Yeah. So, but
is there anything else you feel comfortable telling us about that?
No, but I'll tell you what. If you watch our live streams and then tomorrow you read the website, I won't necessarily say it outright, but you'll be able to connect the dots.
Gotcha.
But it isn't that big of a deal. And you never know, the source might not actually be good. But I think it is, like, just because it's just putting 2 and 2 together.
Well, I mean, if Eric G trusts that person, you know, then and obviously you feel like that's something important to know, then it's important, even if it's a small detail or whatever it is.
Okay. Do they have the next pick in?
It seems like the Rockets pick is in.
Here we go. It starts now. Okay. Reid Shepherd. They did not pick a big man. Therefore, Alperen Sengun is going to remain a Rocket. Therefore, you can really nuke away all the Kevin Durant rumors, which the Phoenix owner already did. That was the big thing, Brian Windhorst, this morning. Keep an eye out for number 3 if they pick a big man. So much for that, Brian. Actually, because the tweet came out from Matt Ishbia.
I kind of wanted him to go to the Spurs. I thought that would have been fun.
Who? Reid?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is big next too. The Spurs at 4. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, because this is really important for them. You know, a lot of these other teams do have kind of other players. This is really important for them to get the proper fit next to Wembyama, right? Because that's going to be they have the number 8 pick too. Is that right? The Spurs do, I think.
Yep.
So we'll see. I know this isn't considered the most talented draft, but every draft has talent dispersed somewhere throughout it, you know.
Yeah, you can find good value.
Look at those 2 teammates hugging it out. That's nice.
And what Draymond said on Twitter. Yeah, let's look at that.
Oh man, is there a Draymond podcast? I hope so.
Oh, they should.
Yeah, it's got to, right?
There it is. There's a guy whose name won't be called that's gonna make $300 million. But this is
right.
For every draft. There's somebody in the second round.
Right.
Cracks the window.
Man, Draymond, Jokic. There's another one.
Or not drafted, my bad. Yeah.
Second round player.
What is drafted? It's 58. Won't be called tonight, so he means second round is qualifies.
Yeah, I think he was talking about the second round.
Well, I was getting a little worried that he screwed that up, but no.
Yeah, you got it. I looked up Reid Shepherd, right?
Yeah.
He's from London, Connecticut. I'm sorry, Kentucky. London, Kentucky. I never knew there was a place called London in Kentucky, but he went to UK University.
Oh, yeah, it's like Paris, Texas, Miami, Ohio.
Athens and Rome, Georgia.
Reid Shepherd, huh?
Yeah.
All right, we're getting
Anyway, people were raving about his shooting ability. So,
oops.
I do wonder what that means for Jalen Green on the Rockets.
Where's my NBA draft.net page? Oh, there. And they don't have a logo. Reid Shepherd. Next one will be Stephon Castle. Oh, my goodness. You know what? That's the guy that Andy Katz on ESPN said he thinks is the most talented player in this draft. And the Spurs get him. Oh, man.
They already made the pick?
Oh, no. I'm just assuming that NBA is right. My fault. No, but look.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm a
little behind on
the
screen. But
dude, look at that. 6'7" point guard, shooting guard. Wow.
Yep. There's also Topic. This is tall point guard, shooting guard.
Oh, thanks, because I was calling him Topic.
I think it's Topic, but I might be wrong. I mean, we have the pronunciation guide here.
Yeah, let me pull that up. There's 3 of them, though. 3 pages. Open file. Oh, cool. You can't see my files.
Nice.
Not that it matters. Let's see now.
This is a good thing.
I can blow these up. Yeah, there. That's a little bit better. Yeah, that's nice.
Medical.
Stephen Castle. Stephen. Not Stephon Marbury, Stephon.
What about Topic?
Page 2. He'll be on page 3.
I gotcha.
It's in alphabetical order. Yeah.
Why don't they just put out a never mind. Spreadsheet?
All
the way down.
Oso Ighodaro is that guy's name. Topic? No. Topic, my fault. No Topic on this.
Topic. Hey, I like that. Topical. Topical.
And finally, Topic. Nikola toe pitch. It's a toe pitch, Dean.
It's a toe pitch. It's like how you're supposed to kick a soccer ball, man. Football.
Oh, cool. We got a Kobe Bryant fan that's actually a Warriors fan. You don't get that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a rarity, honestly.
Maybe up there, not down here.
Oh,
Southern
really?
California, a lot of Kobe fans, big Warriors fans. Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna tweet a whole bunch of Bruce Morrow and whoever else from yesterday. I'm gonna tweet the Kendrick Lamar references.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what that was actually. I got to tell you.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a joke on Just Us, Not Like Us, but uh, yeah. I have heard the song though. You know.
Dun, 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 dun. Can't get that out of my head. That's the genius of whoever produced that. Actually, his producer, DJ Mustard, I saw a clip and he said, I had no idea he was going to take this part and turn it into that song. All right, number 4 pick.
2024 NBA Draft. The San Antonio Spurs select Stephon Castle.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
It's official. Oh, aloha.
You said Stephon too.
Yeah, Stephon, which can be seen right here. Stephon. Oh, I can't highlight that. I can't highlight it? You're kidding me. Okay. Cannot highlight a JPEG. I was going to ask you something. What was I going to ask you?
Stephon Castle.
I've been noticing Woj has been beating Shams to every single, I told Arbel this, every single trade. He's been ahead of him by at least a minute.
We should have a Woj Shams
There's
like counter every season.
I would love to do that. It's probably very profitable, but I cannot fit that into my workflow.
Well, I think, honestly, at this point, it should just be official NBA stat, who broke this first. Have decades and decades of that. They could have an award too, the Woj Shams Reporter of the Year or something like that, 50 years from now.
Anybody know Kendrick Lamar's handle? Oh, there it is, Kendrick Lamar. Dun, dun, dun.
Snoop called him the king of the West Coast, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Ryan Hart or not Hart, Ryan, whatever your last name is. I actually know it. I just didn't want to say it, keep it private. But yeah, Spurs are scary young and scary talented, aren't they?
You like Ryan? He's a big Spurs fan, in case anyone was wondering. I think he lives in San Antonio too, right? They're a great organization, man.
Only place I know of on the interwebs where we got commenting from people who love both teams, where they're from, and the Warriors.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Well, right now the Warriors are the international team still, I think, just in terms of there seems to truly be fans everywhere you go, like everywhere, except maybe Cleveland.
Exactly. And Boston, they're a little preoccupied.
No. There are Warriors fans in Boston.
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, San Francisco and Boston have so many similarities too,
Let me take a look at Twitter and let's not lose any cool information. Here it is. I just tweeted, so. Oh, let's see. Yeah, they're not going to talk about much else other than the picks themselves, which next one to go is going to be probably Buzelis. Let's look at the pronunciation guide. Matisse. Buzelis. Buzelis. Yeah. Matisse Buzelis.
That's the projection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do wonder what's going to happen out there in Detroit, man.
Carlson.
I don't know what they need, really. They have young guys up and down the roster. He has a hat on that says Sat X Spurs.
Huh? Oh, San
Oh,
Antonio.
SA Texas. Yeah, San Antonio, Texas.
Oh. Oh, cool. I like
yeah. Sat X.
Wait a minute.
Sat X Spurs.
Can you describe Carlson to us again, Dean? Because I tuned out. I forget who he is. You like him because he's a Utah Ute?
Brandon Carlson, yeah, he's a senior from the U of U, who I think is from Utah as well. So he stayed in state, and played all his college career in Utah. As Eric G was saying, he wasn't invited to the 65-70, I think, player NBA draft combine, so it's a little less likely, I suppose, that he'd be drafted. But he is a 7-footer who can shoot. I think he has some shot blocking ability. Maybe a little slower, but I think athleticism is way more important in the college game, just overall. And the NBA is so athletic anyway, in terms of teammates around you, that sometimes those type of skill players, I think, have a little bit of value if they hit. But we're talking a guy who's not even on a lot of draft boards, just someone who I saw a couple highlights and oh, hey, go Utes, and and 7-footer who can shoot, so made me a little bit interested in him.
Looks like Arbel has Shams saying it's Ron Holland. So NBADraft.net might be wrong. Of course, it's a wide open draft. So
it would be the Pistons too that
would be the
probably go against the consensus. You would think.
Let's see.
I wonder what's going to happen with James Wiseman. By the way,
yeah,
he's an unrestricted free agent.
6'8", small forward, so wing, and and they're talking about right now. Silas, what's his name again? The analyst from Duke. I forgot his name, but I know his voice. It's not Silas. It's
oh, is he a coach?
Yeah, former coach.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not a coach. No, I can't remember. He's been with them forever doing these drafts.
Okay.
Oh, come on. You know him. It's
no.
My tongue. Oh, man.
I don't.
ESPN Draft Analysts TV. No, that's NBA, guys. NBA. Jay Billis, not Silas, Billis.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be Holland, right?
The Detroit Pistons select Ron Holland.
Yeah, Shams isn't wrong.
Yeah, that would be a shocker too if Shams.
That would be the most shockingest thing from the draft.
Yeah.
If Shams missed on one of them.
Or Woj too. Either one.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so far behind. Bob Myers is on this feed though.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What are you watching on? Like Sling?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's on ESPN 3 or something.
Maybe you can do ESPN streaming on their website. Try ESPN3.com. That still goes to their streaming site.
Nah, they don't. I don't think they put the draft on for free.
Yeah, they would. They would totally do that.
No, I've never seen that.
I'll look it up.
They have the little draft picks that you can watch. But these guys aren't smiling as much as I thought
It's
they would
right
be.
there, but I think you have to enter your cable. Yeah, you have to enter your cable information.
Oh, I don't have cable though, so I
Your cable. Oh,
that's why it's
well then
playing.
what is Sling?
Well, it's not paying. It's paying for online cable access, but it's not a cable. I don't think it's a cable provider. There might be another channel though. I can look.
No, but I thought Sling is you have to have cable first, and then you can sling it to other devices or something like that.
No, I just paid for access to the to Sling website.com.
Okay,
It just streams the.
so it's like
the,
a cable package. Yeah,
yeah, it might be.
online cable package. Okay, one after this, either Buzelis, Alton, Necht. Let's look at the pronunciation of Necht.
Connect. I
Connect.
think. Yeah.
Dalton Connect. Yeah, you're right. I am going to be right back.
Okay. Hold on a second. Yeah, I hope someone picks up Wiseman. It wasn't the easiest come from the Warriors championship team and the injuries to Detroit, I think. So maybe a little, maybe a little bit more stable situation, could help him. Oh, come on now. Okay. Oh. Got the Hornets up next. I think we're at. This is ridiculous. Sorry, having a little. Okay, there we go. Just having a little issue with my stream here, but I think I got it. Okay. Let's see how we're doing on likes and everything. 20 people watching, looks like.
Oh, hey, I have
17 likes. Nice. What's up, Rich?
I have a what's up, Frere? That makes sense to you?
Brother?
Oh, you got it. Dang, you multilingual dude.
Not hardly.
Because you know why I said that?
No.
Because that is why is that? Where is it? That is what Wemby called Alex Sarr.
Oh, nice.
That's France, brother.
Yep.
Maybe he's calling everybody Frere.
Well, he does seem like that kind of guy too.
It's hard not to like Wemby, isn't it?
I haven't seen anything not to like about Wemby.
I know.
You know?
And he's so good on the podium.
Well, he's just the kind of guy who.
Here's the score is over at the draft, so that's a good Twitter handle to follow. A little behind the scenes.
Well, Wemby was a guy who was like he was really working hard on making like his feet really strong, because he knows guys of his height have a lot of feet problems. You know, he spent years and years learning not just to speak English fluently, but you know, the different slang words and things which are pretty hard to learn when you're not in an English-speaking country. And it's like he planned out what he wants his whole career to be, you know, and just quietly worked at it. And no arrogance for the type of prospect that he, the level of the prospect that he's, you know, was expected to be. It wasn't this big, you know, I'm coming in and I'm going to be better than everybody or anything like that. So I just, right now, you know, it seems like Wemby is, you know, a guy where you can kind of trust a lot of that future star of the NBA type stuff to do with this type of personality. And I hope the Spurs are good, because it's always more fun when that organization's doing well, man. They just know what they're doing, you know. And I like competent organizations. Now let's go to the Charlotte Hornets draft pick. Sorry.
Or we can talk about the Warriors' new uniforms.
Yeah. I wish they would have gone a little bit more. Like, I like that W thing a lot. But you know, on the bottom of their shorts, like that should have been front and center on the uniform, man.
Oh, whoa. The Frenchman gets picked. That's a surprise, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay. We got another French guy. Okay. Wait a minute. Charlotte got the other French guy. So San Antonio's going, dang it. Because they wanted to have all the French kids be together, but Charlotte gets, oh man, I don't even want to try to. Can you pronounce that right away?
Let me see it again. It's here in the comments. Tijane Salon. I don't know. Oh, there's an umlaut.
Salon, you're right.
Oh, okay.
Salon. Okay, back to the Warriors jerseys. Arbel likes it. The post that I put on the community page of this channel, they hate it. I don't think there's a single good comment. Of course, people only comment negative things usually. In our live streams, not the case, because we can have more control over that. But yeah, so who knows?
It's a cool logo. It is. I think they should have done the big gold. That's the only thing is like the Golden State number and all that.
Yeah.
That's a little boring to me. You know, I would have put that logo just.
It was designed by this guy. I don't know really who he is. Benny Gold. Never heard of him, but there's a reason for everything on the uniform, which I think protects them from too much negativity. Like, at least there's a meaning.
Yeah, I like all that stuff. It's just not going to pop on the TV. You know what I mean? Like, you're barely going to be able to see the blue line.
Yeah.
But if you're buying it, I'm sure it'll look really cool. And the Jazz did something like that with the black and highlighter yellow, and it looked horrible as a photo. But when you actually saw the players wearing it, it was, you know, it looked good. It was fine. But I really like that logo a lot. That W swish net type thing. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Paul George again? Talked about him for like 3 hours last night. I just don't. We're not getting Paul George without giving up Kuminga is what I think, but I could be wrong.
We were able to get Paul George. Could we get Butler? Because I kind of like that. If we're going real expensive big names.
I don't know why everybody likes Butler more than Paul George. I actually like Paul George more because he's a 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah, Butler is an absolute psychopath. Him and Draymond combined.
I know people go, oh, Paul George hasn't been healthy. Well, I mean, what have you done for me lately wise? He's been healthy, and Jimmy Butler has not.
That's true. That's true.
So,
although Butler made the finals last year, or the season before last.
I just think that I think we'd have. My worry is winning enough regular season games because you got to load manage Paul. I think we might be all right. It's really close, though. We talked about it for 3 hours yesterday, though.
Yeah, we did. There's a real good discussion we had on our previous live. If you guys want to go check that out after this. Trailblazers, finally a West Coast team on the clock here. Oh, sounds like it's in.
Where's our bell? Oh, our bell quit. Nah, just kidding. Donovan Clingan goes 7th.
Okay. Interesting.
Look at the draft board here on mock draft here. Oh, they got that one right.
They've gotten a lot of them right so far, except the Charlotte pick, right?
Yeah.
Wait, did Detroit pick Buzelis? No, they didn't, huh?
Detroit picked Holland, and then it was Sloan. So maybe they'll go 8, 9. There's a nice little Cody Williams at the one of the skyscrapers in New York. Forgot the name of it. He's with his brother J Dub of OKC.
The starter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's J Dub, yeah.
Right. And the other one's J Will. Gotcha.
Yeah. J Lynn is J Will. You know how you can remember that?
Willie?
No, because you can remember it because their nicknames for J Will, it had an I in it, and so did his first name. So it's J Lynn.
Oh, okay, right. J Will has an I and J Dub doesn't. Because he has a Y. Eventually, we're going to have two guys both named like John Smith or something like that, you know, the third. I don't know what we're going to do with that. They're like both all-stars or something. That'd be hilarious.
Okay, let's look at Twitter for any updates other than
Klingin.
What? Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Where's my notifications? Ooh. Oh, it's way up here now.
Well, wait a minute. So they drafted the center and they have DeAndre Ayton?
Ooh. Okay. So they're getting rid of Ayton?
You would think. Also, who's your guy? The Nuggets, Pistons. What's his name, man? You know what I'm talking about.
I only heard Nuggets Pistons, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Portland Trailblazer, Jeremy Grant, right?
Okay. What about him?
Well, They already traded Malcolm Brogdon. They just drafted the center.
Yeah. Sounds like they want to do a reset a la Brooklyn Nets, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Might well be that. Yeah.
So we'll see where these guys end up. It really starts with like Philadelphia. Hey, Philly, how are you going to use your cap space? And then we'll go from there. I think they're kind of, I guess them in Orlando, but Orlando seems to be pretty steered toward, I think, KCP, but get that one done. And then
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, Orlando could reasonably be Paul
trade.
George.
So these trades could happen way before. In fact, could happen tonight.
Orlando could be a player with the Paul George thing too, right? Don't you think?
Well, he would have to opt out and become a free agent, right? Or would they do a trade?
Well, they could.
Who they want to trade out? They wouldn't want to trade out of their incredibly awesome salary cap table, honestly. Look at Orlando. Good Lord. Highest paid player right now is Jonathan Isaac at 17 mil.
And that's a
but that's good drafting.
Team option or something like that, right?
Oh, I don't know. Just has it in black here.
I thought I heard somewhere that
do it, Portland. Make a trade. We love trades.
do it.
You can do it. Yeah. Probably give it.
Hey, what's the Napoleon Dynamite thing? Vote for Pedro.
What was that?
Have you seen Napoleon Dynamite?
I did, but I can't remember it. Why?
Oh, yeah. There's one in there where he does a dance to help Pedro get elected. It's like vote for Pedro, and he does this like crazy dance. He's been making Jonathan Isaac has made $17.4 million for the last 4 years in a row.
Oh.
That's wild.
It's been injured too.
It doesn't look like
he's widely considered one of the top defenders in the NBA.
Yeah, someone said he was the best defender in the league. I was surprised by that.
I believe that in terms of what Keith Smith said recently on one of the podcasts he was on, whereby, and it was actually, oh, by the way, a praise for Ighodaro.
Oh, Ighodaro.
It's the crazy length. Like, oh, how did he get there? So he thinks Ighodaro has.
Man, this Dillingham guy is huge, man. He's barely jumping, just slamming the ball through the hoop. That's crazy. I haven't seen like most of these guys play, by the way. Just been listening to podcasts, but since the Warriors didn't have a first-round pick, I decided not to. Go through hours of YouTube highlights. But I'm interested to see what their highlights look like when they get drafted. So this is pretty fun.
How do you spell Ighodaro again?
Ighodaro.
Iggo. Okay. Who's next? Bell?
Also Ighodaro.
So
it's got to be Nigerian, sounds like to me.
Oh, here's the next pick. I already forgot where we're at.
Spurs?
Oh, Spurs at 8. Yeah.
Let's see.
Buzelis and Connect already still on the board.
Victory Capital Performance Center.
Rob Dillingham.
Really? Oh, wow.
Wow. He's kind of low on this one. Wait a minute. Oh, my God. They had him at 24? 6'2" point guard.
The Spurs did this a couple years back. You remember?
No. Tell me more.
They selected someone way higher than a lot of boards had. And I can't remember. He got in trouble with the law.
Ooh, bro. Good for you, Ryan.
Hey. He's happy with both picks. It was I think it was Joshua Primo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
They
boy.
picked way higher than everybody else thought.
Man. And that one was what happened to him? I forget. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Arbel says, thank you, Arbel, for keeping track of Twitter for us.
Over there on Twitch too, if you want to check out what Arbel's saying.
Dude, Rob Dillingham for the, oh my gosh, 8th pick and Rob. Minnesota has traded for the 8th pick and Rob Dillingham. Yeah, okay. He is the 8th pick. Minnesota wants Dillingham. Oh, what? Wait, who did they? Oh my gosh. What does Minnesota have to trade?
Oh, sorry, Ryan.
Wait a minute. I know, right? Sorry, Ryan.
My guess is that Minnesota might want him as a backup to Conley. You know, since he's getting a little older.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
If I were a conference,
what does Minnesota have in the draft? Do we know? Maybe multiple picks. Minnesota.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Minnesota is 37th. That feels too far down. They give him a player? So San Antonio is going to get a player from Minnesota, maybe? Whoa,
Let's see.
This is intriguing. That's why we do what we do. Memphis is going to take Zach Edey. Is it Edey? How do you pronounce that?
Edey, yeah. No, Memphis got Zach Edey. Crazy.
Trades. We love trades.
Ah.
Oh, Reid's in the house. My fault, Reid. Speaking of Minnesota, let's get you back later, Dean. Appreciate you. But stay on while we say hello to Reid OC.
How are you guys?
Andrew Wiggins is trainer, everybody. I lost track of time there, Reid.
No, all good. Sorry, I'm outside. I'm on the road in northern Minnesota running an event, but I'm glad I could hop on with you guys.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Did you hear you guys trade? I mean, you guys meaning the Witt Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Traded for Rob Dillingham, man.
Yeah, I just found that out right as I walked outside. We're having dinner with the coaching staff. I walked outside and we're trying to figure out who's involved in the trade.
Exactly. So who do you think is involved?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're throwing out some different names. I really don't know. It's, I hope it's not Naz Reid. He's got a cult following here in Minnesota. People are getting his name tattooed all over their bodies. I don't know if anybody saw
inner lip. I saw the woman with the inner lip tattoo.
Hey,
wow.
Believe it or not, one of the guys who works for me got one on his quad, went out for $20 and said, hey, showed up in the gym with a Naz Reid tattoo hidden under his shorts. I was like, what are we doing? He's like, man, we just got to roll with this. I'm like, this is crazy.
Wow. That's a dedicated fan base, man.
Real quick, guys. Ready? Everybody. Dean, sit up higher a little bit. There you go. Ready? Smile, guys. All right, cool. Thank you. I think that's cool. Yeah, that works. It's good enough.
Great.
Yeah. All right, Reid. So you're in northern Minnesota. Can we take a peek behind you? Is that snow?
No, that's not snow. It's nice. I think the restaurant that we're at has volleyball night. I'm not participating.
I would have been a little bit. Man, you must be really north, like Arctic north.
No, it's actually pretty nice. Probably not sweatshirt weather, but it was cold inside, so we went with the sweatshirt.
Oh, there you go. Arbel says 2031 unprotected first and a protected 2030. But what? That's it? Wait a minute.
I thought they were in the second apron. How can they trade that? 31.
I am totally confused.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Right
we'll hear more about that. I'm sure Twitter's got a lot of banter on that.
Hey, before I go, Rich, do you mind if I ask one question?
Yeah, I'd forgotten you were going to go, so go ahead and ask.
Oh, I thought you said it was going to be you and
Yeah,
Reid.
just 5 minutes, and then you can hop on board too. But go ahead with your question.
Oh yeah, I hear a lot about like how athletic Wiggins is.
Yeah.
And I just like what stands out to you most when you're training with like most even other NBA players can't do this, because watching him at his peak, we just rewatched the finals. He was moving at a whole nother like gear than most other people. And just like what stands out to you the most watching him?
So it's been a little bit, like obviously the transition from Minnesota to Golden State. I actually didn't start working with him until he got to Golden State.
Okay.
So he hasn't been around a ton, but like, I mean, he's next level athleticism. I think everybody knows that. I mean, there have been some moves where, I'm trying to play dummy defense on him and I just have to guess. And there's been a few times where I guess wrong. And I mean, he can make NBA guys look silly. Imagine what he does to a 35-year-old slower trainer, right? And so, I mean, just some of the quick twitch stuff is next level. I mean, there's some moments. I spent a lot of time with a lot of really high level players. But there are some times with Andrew where he'll do something and you're just like, you turn and look to the guy next to you where you're like, did you just see that? Like that was crazy. And so obviously he works really, really hard at it, but just some of the natural ability that he has that, I mean, I hate to say God-given ability because he obviously works really, really hard at it, but just some of the stuff that
it's unteachable though, right?
Some of the stuff that he does is just unteachable. It's just next level. It's unbelievable. And he's made me look silly a handful, probably more times than I'd want to admit.
Oh, well, I mean, always rooting for the trainer, to make a big play.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but he's a great.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'll let you and Rich go on for a little bit here since it's a little easier with the two. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on, sir.
Yeah, no, appreciate it.
We'll see you back soon, Dean. Hey, speaking of people that you work with, who are some of the other pros that you work with that we might have heard of, whether it's NBA or WNBA?
Yeah, so I work with Paige Beuckers. I think that's a name.
Man. Wow.
Probably a lot of your people are going to recognize Paige Beuckers. She's awesome. She's the best. Not only is she an unbelievable basketball player, but I tell people this all the time. Like a couple months ago, I get a package in the mail, and it's 2 signed T-shirt jerseys for my 3-year-old twins that she sent out of the blue. Like, I mean, she's just a special human being. So I work with Paige. I work with Megan Gustafson with the Las Vegas Aces. She won National Player of the Year at Iowa in 2019. And then in terms of the NBA stuff, it kind of transitioned. I had a bunch of connections with the Timberwolves. A lot of those guys, Jake Layman, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, who a lot of people remember from the movie Hustle as Bo Cruz. Spent a lot of time with those guys. They've moved on, and we've kind of, with some of our agent partnerships, transitioned to the NBA stuff or the pre-draft stuff. And so we got a lot of guys that we had up. We had about 18 guys. I see Cody Williams going number 10. I think that would probably be a good selection. But we got guys that are, kind of with the NIL landscape deciding to go back to school. So guys like Jeremy Roach, who was at Duke, who decided to go to Baylor for his last year. Janai Broom is the guy from Auburn who's an All-American that chose to go back and play his 5th year at Auburn. Norchad O'Meara was at Miami, and he's going to Baylor as well. I think the NIL money has just changed that. These guys are getting paid a ton of money to stay in college. Then we've had a handful of guys that are in the draft that have had a ton of workouts. Drew Pember is the guy that started his career at Tennessee, then went to UNC Asheville. Didn't get a ton of playing time at Tennessee, and basically scored 2,000 points as a 6'11" stretch at Asheville. And he's a guy that's had probably 15, 20 workouts. And so as you look at, man, how does a team like Golden State fill some needs where it's like, hey, man, that's a little bit different, but Drew's been in the gym with us all spring, 6'11", shoots the snot out of the ball. It's like, hey, maybe that's a late second-round pick, or maybe that's a summer league guy that I think has a chance. And so we've worked with a bunch of guys like that.
Have you mentioned Baylor a few times, taking a shot in the dark here. Anything you've ever heard at all about, I believe it's Jalen Bridges?
No, not. So you cut out for a second. Did you say Baylor?
Yeah.
So I haven't been to Baylor. I've been to Auburn a bunch of times. That's kind of where I spend the majority of my time. So I have Janai Broom, the big at Auburn, and then J.P. Pagese, who's maybe one of the top point guards in the portal from Furman, who just transferred to Auburn. He'll be their starting point guard. So he came up and spent some time with me this spring. So I'm close with Bruce Pearl and Stephen Pearl down in Auburn. But so I haven't been to Baylor yet, but now I got two guys there. So now I'll probably spend
Yeah. You have two guys there. Okay.
Yeah.
So have the two guys ever talked about Jalen Bridges?
No, I haven't heard. They haven't mentioned that name at all.
I've got to let me make sure I got that right. Basketball player, and I think so. Yeah, he did end up at Baylor. He's one of the guys that NBADraft.net, our guy Eric over there, says that the Warriors might pick at 52. So just thought maybe there's a chance you'd heard.
So I actually, at the first game of the year, I got to watch Auburn and Baylor play. And that was a game Jacoby Walter, the freshman, kind of went nuts. And I think everyone thought he was going to be pretty good. After that game, I was like, man, he might be a top 5 pick. And to be honest, some of the draft stuff, as I'm on the road, it's been a little bit difficult for me to cover. Yeah, I just had a new baby, so I got an 8-week-old at home with 3-year-old twin boys. So life is a little bit nuts right now.
Oh, it's a good nuts though.
It's a good nuts, but there's some days where I'm like, people are asking me questions. I'm like, this is maybe the most out of the loop I've been on some of this stuff because life is a little crazy.
Hold on, changing the diaper here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, we've got to talk about Paige Beuckers. Just describe what it's like to be her trainer. I mean, like, describe a training session with her, and how did that?
So I actually got connected with her right after her senior year in high school. So she's a Minnesota native. We had a bunch of mutual connections, but you kind of get into Minnesota was a little different. COVID kind of shuts everything down. Had the opportunity to kind of get in the gym with her because everything kind of shut down. There were some spots that were still open and just built a relationship with her. And I tell a lot of the kids when we run these events, one of the coolest stories about Paige, one of my first workouts as I'm trying to get to know her, she's frustrated. Some of the stuff that I'm taking her through, she can't figure it out. And I just stopped and I said, Paige, I got a question for you. You've won 70 consecutive high school games. You're a state champion, #1 recruit in the country. You're on the cover of Sports Illustrated, USA Basketball Athlete of the Year. Like, what is it that drives you? And, when someone gets emotional and their lip starts to shake a little bit, like they're about to cry, she wasn't going to cry. There was none of that emotion. She looked at the floor. She looked up at the ceiling, and then she looked me dead in the eye and said, I want to be the greatest women's basketball player of all time. And I remember standing there in that moment as an 18-year-old thinking, she was 18. I thought, I'm never going to forget this moment for the rest of my life. And, she won first freshman to ever win National Player of the Year on the women's side. She's just different. Like, she's an unbelievable person. She's an unbelievable competitor. Like 6 weeks ago, I get a package that shows up and I open it up and there's, just under $1,000 worth of Bose headphones in it.
Wow.
No. I'm like, what? I'm panicking. I just had a kid. Like, my brain is, I'm like, did I order something in my sleep? Right. And I realized, I think Paige has a Bose deal. And I text her. I said, hey, is this you? And she just sends back a smiley face and said, hey, I just wanted to say thanks. Like,
that's awesome.
She's just an unbelievable person. Like, she's normal. She's down to earth, but she just wants to be great. And she's a special person to be around.
Awesome. Okay, we should turn it back to Wiggins.
Yeah.
My fault on that one. I'm just
you're good.
super excited. Maybe we'll table it later, the excitement of the Warriors owner, the Valkyries. I mean, that's pretty exciting. And we're not going to be able to pick Paige next summer, I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, they wouldn't give the number one pick to the expansion team. Come on.
Yeah.
So she's probably not going to be with the Valkyries, but still, it's just exciting that like the potential future best women's player ever. And it's like, for us to hear that, it's like within the realm of possibility, honestly. It's like that in and of itself is nuts. Okay, my fault. Let's go to Wiggins. We got Splash CW here. First time I've seen that moniker on here, that handle. Appreciate you. What's your favorite part about training Wiggins?
I'm a little different. I like to connect with the guys. I'm a big relationship guy. And Andrew works really hard when he's been in the gym with me. One moment that sticks out to me is when Mychal, his partner and their kids came in the gym. They walk in the gym and he's like super excited to be a dad. And he runs over we spend so much time focused on the basketball stuff.
Yeah.
When you look at his priorities at being a dad, so his, basically his father-in-law, Scott, is a buddy of mine. And Scott, Scott Johnson. And he told me once, he's like, man, he treats my daughter so well, and he's a great dad to my granddaughters. And as someone that's married myself, like that would be the best compliment I could ever get from my father-in-law. And he's gotten that, he's just an unbelievable guy. He's in the gym, super humble. There's times where I've asked him, hey, anything specific you want to touch on? He's like, nope, I trust you. Let's do this, do your thing. He just, there's no arrogance about him, which is really unique for guys at that level. He's just very easy to be around. So, working on stuff with him, he takes correction really well. You just see a lot of guys with his background, number one pick, all-star champion, things like that. They can kind of be a little bit of a jerk and want to do it their way. And he's just none of those things.
That's awesome, man. Well, I guess we should attack the tough questions now, which is, I guess we've even kind of just joked on here. We don't throw anybody under the bus here on Let's Go. So we'll joke and we'll say, all right, Wiggins is Wiggs is mercurial is the kind of the word that we had this past season. Any insights you can give us as to what kind of season he had and what he might have been dealing with? It was inconsistent by Wiggs's very high standards. And we did a rewatch of the 2022 NBA Finals, as Dean Chambers said before he took a break, and it's like, or went back to the green room. And I tell you what, Wiggs was just, we know what he can do. And so this past season, what can you tell us?
Well, I just think it was a tough year in general, for the entire franchise as they're trying to navigate. Obviously, there's a lot of speculation on what's going to happen this season, and that speculation is driven kind of by what happened this past year. And I think, what people don't understand, I spent 7 years, I'm not going to say, coaching at the NBA level, but I spent 7 years coaching at the college level. And it's really hard to get guys to play together and to create team chemistry. And so you look at a guy like Wiggs and go, like, by no means is he, towards the tail end of his career. Like, he's obviously very skilled. The same thing can be said about Klay Thompson. You're just trying to figure out, like, how do you get these guys to play together in a way that's going to be successful at the NBA level? And it's incredibly difficult to do that. It's incredibly difficult to be consistent with that. And so I'm interested to see, last year when I was on here, I was joking with some guys tonight. I think I ended up being right on some of this stuff. Jordan Poole, I got on. Everyone was so mad that we traded Jordan Poole. And I said, hey, I like Podziemski. I like some of the stuff that he does. He can be that guy in the second unit. At the NBA level, it's not just your starting five, it's that second five. And we talked about last year, when Andrew went there, he said, you have Steph, Klay, and then I think it's me from a scoring standpoint. But the way Klay plays, he's never going to be a number one option because he's not ball dominant. He can go score 60, but he's not the ball dominant option. I think I can be that scorer in the second unit that kind of naturally turned into Jordan Poole in the second unit.
Mhm.
And then this year, I think they tried to figure out like, hey, what do we do with the second unit? How do we impact the game? How do we score the basketball? How do we do things efficiently? And it's taken them a little bit of time, but I think they do a really good job at the coaching staff does a great job at putting players in the right spots. And this is just a difficult year, and they're trying to figure out how do we navigate this as our core group starts to get a little bit older. Obviously, you have the stuff with Draymond that's just kind of lingering. Is he well liked? Is there chaos? What is it? And they're just trying to navigate all that stuff. And so I know that's kind of a roundabout answer to your question, but it's just more so trying to speak to the difficulty of being consistent at the NBA level from a team standpoint.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And also, by the way, in case people are wondering what I was doing, I was just trying to make sure everybody out there on social media knew we had Reid Ouse on our stream right now. So I was a little multitasking there, but now I've made the tweet, and made the Instagram post. So one thing though that people often overlook is the fact that Wiggs kind of really didn't have an off season, or at least a normal full off season, because he had broken his rib in Game 5 against the Lakers. Right? Anything related to his off season and the broken rib that you could share with us?
Yeah, I really don't have anything on that. He's a guy that keeps things super close to the vest. Like, he's the type of guy that would go win the Mega Millions lottery and go win $1.2 billion and not tell anybody. Like, that's just kind of the guy that he is. Things could be really, really good. Things could be really, really bad. And he's just even keel. So he doesn't speak on a lot of that stuff. I know he tries to take some time during the off season and kind of regroup. When he's in the gym, it's business and he works hard. Like right now, I know he's prepping for doing some Olympic stuff as I'm kind of on the road and he's doing his thing. But, for me, that's the different part. I've talked about this in the past. I try to leave these guys alone. Like, they got so much going on. They don't need to be bothered. And so it's like when you need something, you reach out and we talk and we build that relationship. No, so he hasn't said anything about that.
Okay. And when do you think you'll see him next?
That's a good question. He still has family in Minnesota. And so I know that he comes back here. My schedule's crazy. I'm kind of on the road as our business has expanded. The older I get, the more I'm trying to spend less time on the floor and spend more time with my family. And so as we're trying to grow that, it just leads to more travel at this stage in my life. And so I'm hoping this summer, depending upon kind of the Olympic schedule, what that looks like. I know the last time they were trying to qualify, he's kind of in and out. And it's more of a last minute thing, but that's really common. Like I mentioned Paige earlier. Paige will text me at 10 p.m. and be like, hey, by the way, I'm in Minnesota. Can we work out at 8 a.m. tomorrow? Right? Like, that's just kind of how some of this stuff works. And so I don't know. I hope that I get the opportunity to see him this summer, but it really depends on kind of the Olympic schedule, what he's doing, what his family's doing, and when it works out for him to get to Minnesota.
You just reminded me, Team USA is playing against Team Canada July 10th. Do you have any idea where Team Canada is going to have their training camp before that?
I'm not sure. I remember actually the last time that they were doing this when they were trying to qualify, he was in the gym with me in Minneapolis and I said, when does training camp start? And I think he said today. And I was like, what are you doing here? And he goes, I told him I needed some time. I'll get there next week. Because he had just finished his season. You have a long playoff run. He's playing 100 games. And like I said, he's not arrogant at all, but he is Andrew Wiggins, and it's Canada, and they have a really good talent pool. But like, it's Andrew Wiggins. Like, I'm gonna make the team. That's not a problem. Give me some time to get my body right, and then I'll be there to give you everything I got.
And how I mean, geographically, you're close to Canada. So
Yeah, right now I'm really close to Canada.
right. Like, I mean, do you guys in Minnesota like kind of keep an eye on, I mean, sort of like the second team to root for when it comes to international play?
No, not really. I mean, I've lived here. I spent some time in New York. I've been in Iowa. Like my college coaching journey had me all over the place. I grew up probably 3 hours from the Canadian border. I'd never been to Canada before. That was like not something that was like a huge deal. If we went 3 hours somewhere, we went to Minneapolis, which is where home base is for me now. And so the international stuff was, it's like, oh, I mean, Canadian basketball has really picked up. I think in the last 10 years, you start to look at Alexander Walker and Gilgeous Alexander, and you get a bunch of guys where it's like, oh, you maybe don't realize, like, oh, they're from Canada. You know, Wiggins, things like that. So I know that's really exploded onto the scene in probably the last decade or even 5 years, really.
Yeah, their roster looks pretty scary.
I saw their roster the other day, and I thought, man, there's some talent on that team.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of family and Wiggins, before we talked a little bit, digressed on Canada a little bit, but like, so on Mychal's side, it isn't her like nephew, like this awesome high school player, and now is in college.
Yeah. So Maki is at he's at East Tennessee, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Makai's great. So he would actually, that was the first connection. So this is crazy. The reason I started working out with Andrew was because of Paige Beuckers. So Paige played on the Under Armour circuit. Paige's dad and Scott, who's basically Andrew's father-in-law, got connected. Paige's dad said, hey, I got some people coming in. I worked out Makai. I didn't really even know who they were at the time. They said, yeah, our daughter's moving back from San Francisco. And I put it together like, oh, your daughter is Mychal, right? They were very close to the bets on that. And that's how I ended up with Andrew. So I was actually texting Scott tonight. But, yeah, he runs West Virginia Thunder, which is one of the best girls AAU programs in the country. Mychal played at Notre Dame. I think Mychal, his other daughter, I think she played at Marshall. Just a basketball family, and I think Makai had a pretty good freshman year, kind of easing into things and ready for a good year next year.
Amy in the house from the Philippines. She loves Wiggs. Can you give us another story where, he's another introverted Wiggs story, if there is one?
Yeah, I mean, when I walk into the gym, the things he'd talk about is the first thing he'd ask, like, how's your wife? How are your kids? Right? Like, you think the relationship type piece is sometimes like, hey, I don't know this guy right away when we get connected, but he wants to get to know you on a personal level. It's not just about basketball. It's about like who you are as a person. Obviously, I think that builds up the trust on the basketball floor. If you're a good human being, he's more willing to trust you. And so that's the stuff that we ended up talking about. How your kids, right? How's your family? Obviously, if you're going to work with someone and build up that trust, if his kids are going to come to the gym, they want to, hey, you can be comfortable. Hey, bring your family here. Like this, they're a part of this. And so I will say the first time I worked out Andrew, I hadn't met him yet. He's coming to the gym. I'm texting him. And he sent me a text, and I'm standing in the parking lot with one of the guys who works for me. His name's Jared Berger, and he played at Wisconsin. He's 6'10", dunked on Oladipo in college. Like, he had a bunch of SportsCenter top 10 clips. So we're standing there. And Wiggins texted me. I looked at my Apple Watch, and it says, Andrew Wiggins, I'm here. And I said, where is he? And we turned, and all of a sudden this black Lamborghini pulls into the parking lot. It looked like Batman pulled in, and I looked at Jared, and Jared goes, there he is. And, I'm trying to, as he's parking, I'm trying to figure out how in the world does a 6'8", 6'9" dude fit in this car that is like 2 feet off the ground. And he got out of the car and he's like, hey, what's up? I'm Andrew. And I always think that that's interesting. Like, I've met a bunch of professional athletes. Adam Thielen was a Pro Bowl wide receiver for the Vikings. And I had some business meetings and he walks up and says, hey, I'm Adam. And I'm like, I know. It's like Michael Jordan walking up and saying, like, hey, my name's Mychal. And you're like, I know. But he's just like a normal, like, he treats himself like a normal dude. right? Hey, I'm Andrew. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm well aware of who you are, but thank you for introducing yourself.
Yeah, did he have his trademark grin when he opened the door on the Lamborghini and you saw him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I tell people this all the time. I said, when Andrew smiles, you smile. Like he's got one of those contagious smiles. Like I've seen some videos lately of him watching film, during shoot around or before a game, and his kids run up to him, and like you're never gonna see a dude happier than Andrew Wiggins when his kids show up, right? And like when he smiles, you're just like, man, life is good. Like Drew's happy. Like this is awesome.
I wish that could get seen more. I mean, I guess that's kind of Let's Go Warriors. That's what we do. And I'd love to have correspondence everywhere so that we could have somebody on a camera with Wiggins shooting around after practice all the time. Because, but even then, stay a little serious. But like, yeah, I wish there was more of that to be seen from Andrew. How much more time do you have here, Reid?
I got a couple minutes. I think I got my crew waiting for me before we take off. I told them to hold on, but they walked out here a little bit. They actually decided to be ding-dongs and walk on the other side and take a picture of me while I'm doing this. But I think I was able to keep my composure.
If you can send that to me, that'd be awesome. I'm going to bring on Dean right now. I'm going to take a quick restroom break, and Dean has one last question for you.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, Dean. Take it away. Be right back.
Thank you, Rich. And thanks for being on so much, sir. It's great hearing your wisdom and knowledge and all this type of stuff. I did have one more question.
Yeah.
Wiggs, I think is, we all know how great he can be at the small forward position. Do you think he's better though in a secondary position, more at like a shooting guard or at a power forward? Would you say?
I think it really depends. I think he can be a matchup problem at the 4.
Okay.
Because, but it really depends on who the 5 is, right? And so, like, you look at some of the Warriors lineups in the past where he's played the 4 with Draymond at the 5. I think that sometimes defensively can cause some problems. But yeah, I do think he can play the 2 or the 4. I mean, I think he's really versatile because he's proven that he can shoot the 3.
Yeah.
But he also, I've spoken on this before. When he was in Minnesota, they had the change where they bring in the Houston Rockets GM. They're all 3s and layups. We're working in the mid post, and he had spent some time with Kobe doing that. I said, if you got 20 shots in a game, how many do you want from here? And with zero hesitation, he said 16. He's like, I want 80% of my shots kind of in the mid post up. And so you think about that. He's been willing to change, but he can play in there. Like that's where he's comfortable. I think there's some matchup problems that he can cause at the 4 where you put a bigger defender on him that has trouble staying in front on the perimeter.
Right.
He plays the 2, you get a smaller defender on him. Like he has the ability to go at the block and he's comfortable there. So I think he can play the 2 through 4. It just depends on what the alignment, roster wise is around him that would just make that work.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it sounds like you're saying that it's about equal in terms of comfort level. It's just kind of whatever the team needs, right? Yeah,
100%. I mean, if I've said this in the past, the Milwaukee Bucks a couple of years ago, you have Giannis and Middleton and Drew Holiday, and I think the most valuable player on that team is Brook Lopez, because Brook Lopez never shot any 3s. And then Brook Lopez transitioned his game to being a shooter, which then forced teams to pull their big man away from the basket. So if you play Brook Lopez, who doesn't shoot, and you play Giannis, who doesn't shoot, now you have guys clogging the paint. But now that Brook Lopez can shoot the basketball, that allows Giannis the ability to kind of create and have a bunch of space. Mm-hmm. And so now Brook Lopez
still have a rim protector on defense.
100%. So now Brook Lopez is not the best player on the team, but he might be the most valuable, because if he gets hurt, you put another 5-man in there who can't shoot it. Now it changes the way they can guard Giannis, things like that. So to answer your question, I think it's really difficult to answer because it depends on, like, if you have a guy like Looney at the 5, that's not necessarily like a huge scoring threat. I think that changes things. But you need him in there maybe to play defense and be a rim protector, because there's times where Wiggins guarding a 4-man might be a little outmatched, just physicality. And so it's like if he can play the 4 offensively, he could be a matchup problem. But you also need a 5-man and maybe some longer wings to make up for maybe the mismatches that would create on defense.
I love what you said about the 16 out of 20 from the mid-range. That's very, very interesting. Little gem, I think, for us to look at. Maybe just the kind of sets that the team is putting Wiggins in.
Yeah, but with him, like he's just so willing to change. Like he was in Minnesota and he got a lot of hate in Minnesota because he was the number 1 pick and oh man, he's a bust. I'm like, this guy set like a record for most points scored in NBA history before a certain age. Like he's not a bust. Like this guy can score. It's who are the people around him that allow him to be successful. And you saw during the championship run, they just had the right pieces around him. It's just they just need to figure out what that looks like as some of those guys get a little bit older.
Right. Absolutely. No, Wiggins is super, super selfless, and we've all noticed, like I think I've talked to Rich about this. He's been on the team for 5 seasons almost. I can't think of one time he's ever complained on the court.
He just
not one time in 5 seasons. Yeah. So I totally agree with you on that. Thank you very much.
All right, Reid. Reid had
awesome, man.
Yeah. Thanks, Reid, for staying on so long. I think he was on for, let's see, good half an hour.
Hey, so, amazing.
You, Reid.
You guys are lucky, man, in the chat, to be able to have all these great people that Rich knows and is able to bring on. And I'm pretty nervous, actually, just talking to, like, Wiggins trainer, but
you handled it well. I didn't notice. Anybody notice that Dean was nervous? Heck no. Yeah, you're good at what you do, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
No, it's just like
that was great.
Just your whole emphasis on trainers in the first place. I can't think, and I love a lot of basketball media for a long time. I hardly ever heard from trainers, on a lot of podcasts, but it's like so obvious, and you're light years ahead, Rich. Yeah.
So appreciate that. So a few names went off the board. I guess
Bob Carrington was crying. That was the first time I'd seen someone really. His whole family was crying. I like that.
It's cool.
I like it to mean something,
Was he not supposed to get picked until a certain time? Let's see, Bob Carrington.
I don't know. What are we at the
back up here? Carlton Carrington, 12. Okay, it was around that range. So he's just enjoying the moment. That's fantastic. Let's pull up the draft board here.
Well,
should probably do that. Is there a draft board somewhere other than right here? Full draft board. There you go. Okay, you should have that.
The Kings selected a 6'2" player.
Really, Devin Carter? Yeah.
Yeah.
The point guard or shooting guard?
He's 6'2". I don't know, but well, I mean, maybe not. I want to play. Honestly, Rich, if we're being honest, I want to play Steph at the shooting guard this year, offensively.
Yeah.
But it feels like that's just an interesting pick, considering they have, not just De'Aaron Fox, obviously, and Malik Monk, who's 6'4", 6'5", something like that, but also off night, Davion Mitchell. Yeah. Right? What'd you say? They have Fox.
Yeah, I know. Right?
And Davion Mitchell.
It is surprising to me to pick a 6'2" guy.
Yeah. I mean, best player available, I guess.
Devin Carter. Let's look at the NBA Draft.net board. Where's he on here? There it is. Okay. So he's ranked pretty highly. Point guard, shooting guard. Okay, combo guard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player. That's not. I just think it's an interesting move for Zach.
Might have been for somebody else because they were trying to trade this, according to experts on Twitter.
That's what I'm. Maybe there's a trade in the offing. Sorry, what?
Legitimate experts. When I say experts on Twitter, that could literally mean two things. That could be sarcasm, or it could be literal truth. And I do mean the literal truth that, according to the people that know, Sacramento was looking to trade that 13th pick. Here's Bell. Wait, are we on? Oh, yeah, we just did 14 with Portland, Carlton Carrington. Wait a minute. They've got Anthony Simons. Okay. Well, does that 6'4" shooting guard, does that fit with Portland's rotation?
With Scoot?
Yeah, there's Scoot. I totally forgot. Scoot, and I knew there was one guy I was forgetting. I was thinking Amin Thompson for some reason, but it was Scoot. Yeah, Scoot.
Yeah.
So you got Scoot, you got Anthony Simons, and then you're going to add 6'5" combo guard. Okay.
Can you put up Bloomer's most recent comment on the screen real quick?
What, Brandon Carlson?
Yeah. I just liked him because he's from Utah, and now I'm hearing his name everywhere.
Why does everybody on here like him? That's interesting.
Maybe I just pointed out a 7-footer who can shoot. As a senior, but I didn't expect like every live stream since then. Someone's like, "Hey, have you heard of Brandon Carlson?" It's like, yeah, I have. But thank you, Boomer. Yeah, I think he's. I'm not sure he'll be drafted. That doesn't mean he won't play at all. There are plenty of undrafted guys, G League guys who make it. But this is wild to me how many times he's been brought up. That's just crazy. Yeah.
That's wild.
It struck a nerve with somebody, I guess.
Cello. Oh, man. Oh, the whole thing on Paul George. Yeah. The other thing to remember is that usually Lacob wants to be tied to anybody available that's really elite. It's kind of like the room where the whales play at the poker table. We want to be dealing with $1,000 chips. So there's that, but I do think it's worth them taking a look at because we had a 3-hour discussion yesterday.
We did
about it. So here's another selection. Miami's going to pick this.
Well,
where?
Man, Miami. I've never heard of that guy, but I assume that he's probably going to be a good solid player at least.
Yeah.
Miami's good.
Probably run through a brick wall for you.
Exactly.
Probably already.
Just, Jaime Jaquez and.
So he's a center at Indiana. That means, and he's a sophomore. That means he played behind Trace Jackson-Davis. He played behind Trace Jackson-Davis last year. 2 years ago. Is that right, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah. Unless he transferred from one school to the other. And this is his second year. Right?
Well, Robbie says that you helped him look up Brandon Carlson. So I think you should be Brandon Carlson's agent. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How much am I getting paid? I'll do it.
Guys like you and me, we don't get paid.
No, it's the work is reward in and of itself. Just like Sherlock Holmes.
Amy, look at Amy.
Yeah.
Let's screenshot that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice. That's not bad.
Precious moment.
Okay, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. You're in that
team is up,
by the way.
Up next. Ooh, whoever the Lakers pick, I'm going to be interested in just because my buddy, the Laker fan, Mark.
I did hear. I guess he's Adele's boyfriend now. To a lot of the world, say that if they wanted Bronny James at 17, they would just tell the Lakers to select him there. That's interesting.
Not at 17.
He
Bronny?
said that though.
Nah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's an interesting quote. If
You
the
want
podcasters I'm talking about got the 70-10 record in high school. Nice.
Okay. Anything I'm missing on Twitter here?
Okay, 76ers on the clock. One of their only 4 players that they're probably going to be guaranteed going into this offseason.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Talk about an empty cap sheet.
Jeez.
What's wild?
No, just the Sixers not having anyone under contract.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know? I mean, very few. No one. Obviously, they have Embiid and Maxey and this pick.
Got off of Tobias, got off of Hield.
Yep.
Batum retired, getting off of Rocco.
Yeah, I forgot Batum retired. That's right.
Even got off of Kelly Oubre. Yeah, he was a buyout, right?
Oubre played well for them. I was really happy to see that.
He earned himself a probably $50 million, maybe more contract, I would say.
50 over 4? Is that what you're saying?
15.
Oh, 15. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't do the over years thing. I just look at 1 year at a time.
Yeah, per year. Yeah.
Even though with Klay, you kind of have to do the multi-year.
Well, we're more invested in that than anything else. So, yeah. But I think, yeah, you know, when he was on the Dubs, it was a little I don't think we ever figured out how to use him correctly. But I was glad to see him play well for the Sixers. Tsunami Poppy. That's what he went by. You talking about Carlson here, Robbie? Zach Edey's huge, man. 7'5", and they say 299 pounds. Wild. Do they still have Steven Adams? Do they trade him?
Who?
The Grizzlies.
I think they still have him.
Yeah.
1 more year, I believe. Let's look it up.
Oh, you got it.
It's a pretty hefty contract. Okay, maybe he's not. They're off of Steven Adams, huh? Where do you go?
Yeah.
Must have gone somewhere.
Rockets, I think.
Okay.
Oh, no, he didn't play all year this year. He had right knee surgery. But I think he's on the Rockets. I'll go look at the transaction.
12 million, 12.6. Expiring, though. Oh, by the way,
free agent?
Nick Claxton, 4 years, 100 mil. Huh?
Is he a free agent?
No, 1 more year.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, expiring this upcoming season. Gotcha. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Nick Claxton, $100 million, 4 years. So there you go, guys. You want a big man? Pay up. That's $25 million for a guy like that.
Did you just sign that?
Isaiah Hartenstein probably going to get $25 million. Saying probably should get more than Claxton, honestly. So
Adebayo got 50.
Need a big man. The need a big man brigade. You can't just need a big man. You need 25 million for a quality guy.
Did you hear Bam Adebayo's contract extension, Rich?
Have not.
It was 166 for 3 years. So that's 55.3 million a year.
Holy mackerel.
On average, that is.
Did that just happen?
Yeah, it happened today.
What time?
A few hours ago.
Maybe while I was driving.
It could have been.
When I called you.
Yeah, maybe. That was nice getting a call. I mean, yeah, it was reported on ESPN 7 hours ago at CBS.
I just didn't see it. Of course, I was
It's
driving.
big though. That's a big contract.
That's huge.
Not as big as it used to be, a little bit, but still,
Yeah.
man.
I think he deserves it. I mean, just the way he plays. Wow.
Yeah, I do too. I just wonder about Butler looking at that going, does that mean the Heat are going to give him an extension that he's been asked for too? Or I don't know. What's going to happen in Miami with that?
Let me see what.
With the 52nd pick, I think we can talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. I'm more looking at, what kind of trades and things like that are going around the NBA right now. But yeah, I really don't know who they'll pick 52nd.
Wait a minute. Did Jake Fisher get this wrong? Like, I'm looking at why someone got mad at Tim Kawakami. It's kind of funny to me that Miami 15th was not Jared McCain, right? Trade. Oh, this is probably old. Minnesota trade. Oh, Portland. Bub Carrington goes to the Wizards. So this guy.
From the Trailblazers?
Yeah. So no Scoot, Simons, Carrington backcourt. So that's why we look these things up.
Yeah, but it's Carrington and Poole now, I guess.
Yeah. Jared McCain here for 76ers from Duke. What do I have to hit refresh? Really? Oh my goodness. NBA website. You've got to be on this, man. $1 billion company with the $100,000 website, guys. Come on. This is inexcusable.
What was that baseball movie? He's got $1 million arm and a 5-cent brain.
Come on.
For a pitcher.
Just take 0.001% of your next network deal and invest it in a better website, will you?
The ESPN one seems to be updating on its own.
Lord.
Just to let you know.
That's horrible, man. That's inexcusable. Draft. Golly, guys. Here we go. Lakers on the clock. Oh, let me text my guy, Mark.
I thought so. Bill Simmons really likes Jared McCain, by the way. He's hoping the Celtics would draft him. I heard him talk about that.
I'm not a Bill Simmons fan anymore.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. What does he say that's informative, man?
He's good at basketball history. He's really good at
basketball. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. And he seems like not someone who's in it for the hot takes. So I know it can be abrasive opinions, but yeah, I like that about him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is what he actually thinks. So you'll never get the Stephen A. Smith. I'm just going to say this to drive clicks.
Not that it hasn't worked for Stephen A. But that's not my favorite type of sports, analysis. Definitely.
Waiting for Arbel's Twitch comment. Arbel is Shams. No, it's just that.
Yeah,
he's on. He's got.
It's not official until Arbel says it on Twitch.
Man, the day that Arbel beats Shams and Woj, my brain is going to explode.
Well, let's hope it's not today then.
Arbel will beat them on Buffalo Bills news. That has been proven.
That I believe.
The Hawaiian who loves the Bills.
What's funny about Buffalo Bills? Their logo is a bison.
Say what?
Their logo is a bison.
Wow. And what's a bill, actually?
It's a joke on Buffalo Bill. I think the
rodeo.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Where else would it come from? It's not the dollar bills, It's not, government bills.
Wow, the voting on the jersey has dropped to 50% yes. It was 57%. And I can
Really?
only see
42 votes. Nice.
I can only see the one that's winning. So when I saw yes at 50%, I was thinking no was 50%, but it's not.
No, it's 26% abstain or neutral or don't know. So yes, don't know, and no. Well, that's not bad. 75% aren't saying no. So that's good. I love that logo though, man. I really it's great.
The W net.
Yeah. It feels like the Steph Curry
Guess what?
three-point logo.
My Lakers friend is saying
What's that?
for the Lakers?
Oh, Bronny.
Trade that shit.
Yeah, F them picks.
Yeah, he wants pieces on this roster.
They do need more depth. I find it hard to see
players.
them contending without a little more depth.
They need NBA players right now, ASAP, because there was.
They got Dalton Connect apparently.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait, Connect is, what are his stats? You know, he was projected to be picked 6th.
Yeah.
NBA draft.net. So
that's higher than 17th.
6'6" guard forward. Interesting.
Oh, I thought the flower one was kind of cool. It was just so complex, you know.
Yeah.
I like the sunset ones too back in the day. You remember
the
those?
Other thing? I think it's hard to come up with good jerseys now. Like everything's been done.
Oh,
right?
I don't know about that. I think they're probably marketing simplicity. You know.
Another trade, Adam Silver says.
Finalized later, the San Antonio Spurs are trading to the Minnesota.
Oh, we knew about that one. Okay, that's the thing. Sometimes Adam gets on the podium. We already knew about it.
Yeah, they just have to announce it officially, and there's this whole pomp and circumstance, you know, that goes on with this type of stuff. But it sounds like we already knew about that trade, so.
They like it. The Lakers fans like it.
Well, it seems like they got a top, you know, a lottery player fall to 17th. So, yeah, I'm interested to see his highlights coming up. Yeah.
Wow, the yeses on the jerseys is now down to 48%.
Oh,
keeps going down.
Come on now.
Draft board right here. Cool. Is this next up? Raptors are next up. Let's see. No, it's Orlando. So what does this mean? Oh, do the Raptors own that pick? That could be it. Don't you love that logo of the Raptors? That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a really good logo.
That's like Miami.
Simple and unmistakable.
Yeah, I think that's Miami Heat level, or close to it. Next tier down. That's kind of like
jazz a little bit with the note and the ball.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's see what's another.
Oh, Boomer, I get you on that one. Yeah. I say yeah. Agree with you on that.
Yeah, we had that back in 2020, didn't we? Sorry, 2022. We had the lightning down the side. Really? That was great. Yeah. You don't remember that on the side of the jersey?
Nope.
The Thunder Pits.
Well, put it this way, I do recall when we did the throwbacks to the Cohan era. So but that was what, 2021. That was the
Oakland one.
Play-in loss to Memphis. Yeah, we wore the Cohan era, the Lightning. Yeah, those ones. And maybe it's time to do one of those again. Yeah, maybe next year, huh?
You remember those Washington Wizards jerseys with Gilbert Arenas that were like shiny gold?
Yeah.
I think that was a cool look. Not for the Wizards, because that doesn't mean anything for DC or Wizard, but for the Warriors, it would make sense. You know?
Oh, just steal another team's design. Yeah, why not?
A little bit, do something cool and shiny blue with the
Tristan da Silva,
letters.
6'9" small forward out of Colorado, goes to Orlando.
What's Dalton Connect's what's his physical stuff?
He is 6'6" shooting guard, small forward.
Okay, interesting. He went for a wing.
Okay. Cholo likes him. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I think they'll look better on the court too. Yeah.
The Valkyries jerseys are going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
I gotta set ourselves up for that.
Again, also to both the Bay and Sacramento crowds. You're going to see a lot of Valkyries jerseys, I think, in Sacramento, and a lot in Golden State too.
Time to hit up my old Filipino vendors for the jersey construction. We should do a Let's Go Valkyries jersey.
Yeah, great.
Buy that.
Yeah.
It would have to cost a lot. Those aren't cheap to make, man. Like $40. $40.
Still full,
It's not like, Warrior Shop probably costs them less than $5 to make a jersey, but they have bulk.
Yeah.
So,
right. Who's the next Jokic or Ginobili? We won't know until tomorrow, Bruce.
No, it's you.
Oh, really?
No, but no. No, that's an hour, 47 minutes and a half into a draft that we have no picks in first round.
It's cool seeing trades and trying to figure out what other teams are trying to do, though.
Oh, and just saying that you're the next second round wonder.
Yeah. Everybody loves the second round pick who makes it, man. It's the whole league passed up on him,
Yeah.
And then he proved everybody wrong. Okay, this might be a little bit of an important one. I hope the Magic draft a shooting guard.
Where's Shamshi there? 6
forward. Tristan da Silva. Thank you. The draft, Rick Walker, is on. The first round is on right now. The second round is on tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Yeah. And that'll be around. What did we've got Doc Martin coming on tomorrow, and I told him to show up at 5:15, so about 5:30 p.m. ish is when we'll pick. 4 minutes per pick.
Nice.
We'll be back.
It's pretty cool. I got to say, I think this is a really good idea. It's pretty cool that we're.
Oh yeah. Oh,
about to close it out.
Can you believe?
An hour. It's such a. This is much nicer than the marathon draft coverage that they used to have. Sorry, go ahead, Rich. What?
ESPN website. Rick Walker. What was I going to say? Ooh, forgot my train of thought there. Yeah.
Can you believe?
Tomorrow we'll be live here again. It'll probably be around I'm gonna have Doc Martin hop on at 5:15, and we'll ask him if it's okay if he can be with us until then. We'll figure out what to talk about up until the Warriors pick.
Absolutely. It says the Warriors are 53rd and not 52nd because the Sixers, I think, or maybe the Suns, one of the two had a pick. What's it called? Forfeited. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because of the what trade?
Harden?
Yeah, because of Harden. Thank you.
Yeah. I wonder,
I knew you'd know.
are we paying the 52nd slot salary or 53rd?
There is no salary for that.
But if it was forfeited in the first round, I wonder what would happen.
Never happened before.
Yeah.
I think.
But you're right. The second round, they don't have.
Be really harsh.
Slot.
That'd be like that kind of what if the FBI raided Dean Chambers' house right now.
Please don't say that. Please don't say that. There's nothing to find here. It would just suck.
Oh, Dean, you have a comp. You're David Lee, man.
David Lee. Okay. I'll take David Lee or Damian Lee. Either D Lee I'm good with. Both champs. Thank you though, man. I really like that's the first time I really felt like I didn't become a huge Warriors fan until 2019, like every day, all day, until 2019. But back in when did they get David Lee? 2013? 12? You remember, Rich?
Had to be 12.
2012?
Had to
I was
be.
looking at that team and thinking...
I got there at 2013, and he was, a fixture already.
Okay. So it must have been 2012 that they got him from the Knicks.
I could be wrong, though, but yeah.
But that sounds about right. I was thinking...
Look it up.
Like, Curry and the Mississippi Blur, Monte Ellis.
Mississippi Bullet.
Mississippi Bullet. I thought it. Okay. I thought it was. Thought it might be Bullet, but I didn't want to.
Can't say Bullet anymore.
Yeah, Blur is better.
2011, 2010, 2011. My fault. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you know what? That makes more sense.
Yeah.
It was a Cohen era trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they had who? Corey Maggette still, and
oh gosh, yeah.
Corey
Maggette was a free throw getter, man.
Mm-hmm.
He got fouled. He was able to get fouled.
I think he scored 50 the game I watched against the defending champion Celtics, where the Warriors won.
Yeah, yeah.
He was amazing, man. I always felt he would have been really good on more of a contender, just to see what he could have done. But I don't think that really happened. But let's see, Corey Maggette, and you had David Lee and Andres Piedras, and West was there. Jerry West, rest in peace, had just gotten there. Who? Jerry West?
Nah, he was after Lacob took control of the team, right?
Yeah, that was 2011 though, right?
I think you're right, actually, because he helped.
Maybe this is a year or two into David Lee being there. Maybe it wasn't the very first year, but
very first year was 2010-11.
Yeah, so maybe this is 2012 then. I'm thinking, but I just realized, the Warriors really have an interesting team here. And then I kind of stopped because I was a little upset about the Monte Ellis trade. And looking back now, it's like, wow, a lot of fans don't know anything about that. And that's fine. Who became fans of the Warriors later. But it was kind of cool, the Jazz played them in 2007 with the We Believe, and heard how loud Oracle got, and just it's cool thinking back, how it really was this cool, kind of under the radar rise, and then just exploding onto the scene in 2020, 13, 14, 15. And it's already been half a decade, man. It's already been half a decade, since they moved to San Francisco. Wild.
Automatically update. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right on point with the TV broadcasts, which I'm about 15 seconds behind. Jacoby Walter, Baylor. That's he was.
Oh, thank you, Boomer.
He was mentioned by Reid, right? Jacoby Walter. Cleveland on the clock.
I wonder what Toronto's going to do. I have no idea
They just
where they're
picked
going. No, not with the pick. I mean, for this next season.
overall. Oh, right. Yeah. Let's take a look at their cap sheet. Oh, I saw a tweet from a cap expert. 3 players that Toronto has traded away have gotten max contracts, I think. Let's see. OG, Pascal, and Scotty. No, Scotty's still on the team.
Yeah.
DeMar?
DeMar hasn't gotten it yet, though, right? Or he already had one years ago. Hello.
What did Precious get?
Which I'm biting. Huh? Oh, she's biting. Relax.
That's his cat, new people.
Yeah. Biting me. They interrupted her cleaning.
Let me see what text that was or what tweet that was.
It sure sounds like Scotty Barnes is set to be their franchise player, especially based on the way their head coach talked about him. What's his name again? I got it right here. Darko Rajakovic.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's pretty good.
And he called Scotty Barnes like he's going to be the face of the NBA. He's our franchise player. And why didn't we get
my
free throws?
Here's a tweet. OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Fred VanVleet have all received new contracts exceeding $42 million.
The Rockets extended Fred VanVleet
since leaving the Raptors.
Or gave him a new contract.
I feel like we have had this discussion before.
Yeah.
What was your question? Fred VanVleet, $42 million.
When?
What? You forgot? We talked about this. This is the second time you've forgotten that Fred VanVleet has a scary contract. He got paid. He got a bag.
Oh, yeah. 40, 42, 44. Or more than that, really. 41, 43, 45 almost.
How does Encyclopedia Britannica forget that?
Hey, Rich.
I'm
allowed to make mistakes once in a while. Okay, man?
Right. Hit rate of 99.93%. You're Steph Curry at the free throw line. Okay, you can miss one every day.
No, that's too much. That's too much.
You were totally.
I can't believe I forgot that twice. It's crazy.
Cal grad, Jalen Tyson. Wait, did he grad? Okay, Cal alum, Jalen Tyson at number 20.
If you get drafted into the NBA from a school, you graduated. That's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see. For all purposes.
Yeah.
I'll take a few million rather than a degree. I'll do that.
Well, Steph, man, he went back and got it while winning the title. Amazing. What a great season.
Milwaukee, it was Cleveland. Ew. Cal guy goes to Cleveland. Ugh, cringe. Sorry, Cleveland people. I was born in Cleveland, so maybe I'm allowed to say that.
Hey. You Steph and LeBron, man. No, they were born in Akron, huh? But no, that's close. You ever been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Rich?
Yes.
How is it?
I went there very briefly. It's nice.
Yeah.
Wait, did I go there or who was I with? No, No, I think I went to some music place in Portland, but I do recall being outside. Yeah, if I'm going to be outside of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you might as well go in because there's nothing around there. I mean, like, there's not much. So if I went that far, I probably went in, except I just can't remember it. Maybe because I was in Cleveland, I just want to come home. This was definitely like a road game or the finals one of those years.
Yeah.
Probably not the finals. Couldn't have been. No, I don't know.
Christmas
Because
Day.
I don't have time during the season. Games are so close together.
Yeah.
So it was probably 2017 or 18.
Hmm.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nice. I always want to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I haven't been to Cleveland, so wasn't able to. I've been to the Naismith Hall of Fame though. That place is great, man. If anyone gets a chance to go there, go. It's really cool.
Where's that?
It's in Springfield, Massachusetts.
You'd think it'd be in Canada, but okay.
No, he's Naismith is Canadian, but he invented the game in Springfield
Oh, thank you.
at the
whole time
YMCA.
I thought it was invented in Canada. My bad.
No, it came from throwing rocks into buckets on the river and trying to knock them into the water. And then he took that and said, "Whoa, why don't we use a ball?" But so if you go to Springfield, if you go to the Basketball Hall of Fame, they have like one of those real old baskets, and like you have a broom and like hit the ball out and stuff. You can see the evolution of at least back when I went when I was a kid, you can see the evolution of the hoop and try and make a basket on each one of them. It's pretty cool. It's nice. And obviously, it's, we all love basketball here, so that's other than winning championships, that's probably the greatest.
What's it called? Basketball Museum or what?
No, the Naismith Memorial, the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, I think.
Oh, it's the Hall of Fame. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I knew that was in Springfield. I just didn't know that was like separate, but I guess, yeah, put it together in one. Yeah. Gotcha.
Put what together in one? Sorry.
Like a museum and the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait. Golden State?
His new deal with the Cavaliers, 5 years. A 5-year deal to coach Cleveland. And now
Right. Just today, Kenny Atkinson 5-year deal with the Cavs.
Do we know how much?
Check Woj tweets.
Oh, okay.
He just said on TV. 5-year deal with Cavs.
When I'm done with these live streams, I got about 30 tabs open. I do that even when I'm not on a live stream now, if I'm being honest. I'm not seeing money, seeing years. I'll try salary.
On the clock, New Orleans, but they're going to pick
Maybe like
you're going to pick Eve Misi. Oh, by the way, speaking of what are you looking up right now?
Atkinson's how much money he's making.
Okay. Let's check Twitter for that and check a Woj tweet maybe. Let's see.
I'm not seeing it.
Any Woj tweets that I can click on? Let me search on Atkinson.
Hey, Mike Brown to Golden State, Kenny Atkinson from Golden State to Cleveland. That's funny.
Oh, there we go. Woj just tweeted it, but I don't know if there's a dollar figure.
Yeah, I was seeing the 4 years, and I just wonder.
Come on.
They don't have to release that stuff the way you have to do it with players, so you might not know.
There it goes. Yeah, doesn't have the dollars.
So that I wanted to talk to you about that actually. Do you think there's going to be a promotion from the bench, or do you know anything about filling out the other assistant coaches around Kerr?
I don't. What would I guess? I would guess that they would not promote from within. There's not really a lot to promote from within. They just promoted from within. Everybody that's an assistant coach just got. So the next guy in line you would think is, I mean, they could promote Steve's son Nick to an assistant coach and then raise one of the assistant coaches to, offensive or defensive coordinator. Usually it's defensive. Maybe that's Chris Weems, but I think you want to bring somebody in, but I don't know. I really don't.
I'm you know what I'm hoping for, right? I've said this before on the pod, I think. Is I would love to get Darvin Ham and Steve Nash. I think that'd be incredible.
Oh, Steve Nash, yeah,
And Ham too, if he's available.
and who? Oh,
Darvin
Ham.
Ham. Yeah.
Wasn't he under consideration? I heard his name.
I heard something and then nothing ever came out of it. So I wonder if maybe there still might be negotiating something. Or...
Total fit. I don't know about Ham, but maybe Ham. Yeah, I could see Ham yelling at guys on defense to play defense.
And also just a little knowledge of the Lakers too. There seems to be a big obstacle for us in the West.
JJ is going to implement some secretive stuff.
Oh no, no doubt they're going to change a little bit, but just understanding, having been in the locker room with LeBron and AD and those guys. But also the main thing for me is defensively. Defensively, Ham seems like a hard-nosed kind of old school coach, and I think that'd be really interesting. But Nash, he was already a shooting coach with the Dubs, already been around. It would absolutely make Brandon Pajemski's day, having Steve Nash on there.
Oh my gosh,
the Santa Clara fellas, and they're both head coaches at this point, so I would love to see that.
I think New Orleans picked a center for a reason, and the reason is JV is a free agent. So the other thing about JV, I heard that someone was gushing. I think it was Jonathan Givoni of Draft Express gushing about Zach Edey as a 7. How tall is Zach?
7'5".
7'5" JV. 7'5" Jonas Valanciunas.
Wow.
I listened to that. I'm like, what? Okay.
I didn't see him shoot like that. But then again, I didn't watch a lot of clips. But if that's the case, man.
Maybe he thought New Orleans would draft him there, but I guess he's kind of. Where was he projected on here?
Yeah, he went.
Oh, 21. Oh, New Orleans. There you go. That's why NBADraft.net thought he would go then, but
he went 9th.
They went with Misi, who they thought the Lakers.
Misi.
I guess he's a better center, more athletic. I guess maybe more nimble. Don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean? And who?
Edey. I mean, if Edey is a 7'5" Jonas Valanciunas, why is he way down here? It must just be the mobility.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. I would imagine that probably Edey had different. If he wasn't drafted 9th, he would have been drafted here or then down to 21st. It wasn't like he could go multiple picks. You know what I mean? Because NBADraft.net generally doesn't. They have generally excellent information. But I just wonder if if he's not getting drafted by Memphis because we have someone else, and then the next team that seems likely to take him is New Orleans.
Deron Holmes, the second, has been chosen by Denver.
By Denver?
Yep.
Did they trade for that pick?
Denver traded. Oh, they wanted Deron the whole time because NBADraft.net kind of knows these things. They moved up. Denver moved up Who did they trade? What did they trade to Phoenix? Had to be draft picks.
Yeah.
No, it might not. You never know. Wait, Phoenix,
but Phoenix, they have to draft somebody. I'm sure they do for the step-in because they traded all their picks.
They moved down. They had to move down. Yeah. They have to. No, they're getting out of the first round. Phoenix is get out of the first round. Okay, cheaper.
Oh, you know what? Once you draft someone, you can trade that pick, and that doesn't affect the step-in rule. I forgot about that. Okay, interesting.
Well, explain.
What'd you say?
Well, you just blurted out step-in rule, so now you got to explain what that is.
Okay, the step-in rule was named after an owner. His last name was Stepien, who traded like all of his draft picks every year, and the NBA said, "Hey, you can't do that. You every other year, so twice or once every 2 years, you have to make a draft pick. You have to. You can't just trade away all your picks all the time. And but once you select that player, you can then trade that and not violate that rule.
Which is what Phoenix just did, according to our
because they don't have. I'm sure they don't have any.
Wait a minute, Shams. That's not worded correctly. Then Phoenix is trading number 22 to Denver, which takes you have to take Durant and then trade it. Huh? But then if they just pick Durant, wouldn't that is that a cap hit already? And then you're trading out salary, or I don't know.
They haven't signed contracts though, so I don't know.
Maybe that's just worded wrong. Let's take a look at Shams up here. Let's see if I can find Shams. Denver has landed the Suns pick. The Nuggets are sending Phoenix. Oh, okay. They still have a first rounder. But no, they're okay. The pick did get traded. They traded for another pick. There are 2 picks. What is Stepien? Does Stepien I mean, are you sure Phoenix is up against the Stepien rule here? Might have nothing to do with it, really. Maybe they made a pick last year or something like that.
Maybe.
But anyway,
I'll try.
This is definitely happening. Denver has landed the Suns pick. They wanted to move down. I'll bet you Phoenix moves down even further. 28. Well, I don't know. Let's look at Phoenix. See how much they have on the books. Are they already in the second apron?
Yeah, basically.
They are already.
There are 3 guys from that 150.
Holy moly, $203 million. That's what we paid all of our salaries, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 more slots, Dean, and they're already paying what we paid. Didn't we pay $200 million in salaries?
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't think they have the repeater tax stuff, but
yeah,
man,
there you go.
They have 3 guys too.
Oh my goodness, $150 million right here.
I got it for you. They have their pick this year free. Next year, traded to the Nets.
Okay.
The year after that, traded less favorable. So they have the more favorable. The Magic have the less favorable pick swap, so they can get around the stepping rule, still draft somebody. And they have all these picks that they owe. 27 traded to the Nets, 28 pick swap again. 29 traded to the Nets, 30 pick swap with the Grizzlies. So yeah, they don't have anything until 2031 after this year because of the 2 trades, I guess, that they did for Durant and Booker. Oh, sorry, Beal. Hey, Bruce, you know who Otis Redding is, right? Try a little tenderness, man.
Or
sit on the dock in the bay.
Or orchestral maneuvers in the dark.
Oh,
Is it that? I don't know.
wait, what? What'd you say?
Orchestral maneuvers in the dark. The band.
Castrol?
Somebody's saying tenderness. Who's saying
Ah.
that? So, there's Teddy Pendergrass.
Try,
Who said-
try a little tenderness. Oh man, that's right. It's great, man.
General Public, English New Wave Band.
Ah, okay.
That too.
No data if PG is a possibility. First apron. Who you talk? What
Milwaukee.
team are you talking about?
On the clock. Okay. Congrats, Kenny Anderson. Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
He had a pretty good run with the Nets, you know, and I think it'd be interesting having him coach Donovan Mitchell, you know.
yeah. Hey,
It'd be fun.
Dean, this dovetail into the joke that I was about to say is
Oh, cool.
guess what the Cavs the Cavs that you just mentioned, guess what they're gonna get a steady diet of?
Ooh, a joke that has to do with steady diet.
Wow. You didn't get it on the first try?
I don't know.
Instantaneous? The Atkinson diet?
The Atkinson diet. As long as the river doesn't catch fire, I think they'll be okay.
Wait, what does that mean?
The river in Cleveland caught fire. You don't know that? A couple times.
Oh, I thought the guy who invented the Atkinson diet caused the fire or something.
No, they had a bunch of real industrial place, Cleveland, and Cuyahoga River or whatever it's called. It caught fire a couple times, which is horrible. But I mean, can you imagine looking out your window and the water is on fire?
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
Sounds like something from South Park. Oh my God.
does, yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at Cholo's comment.
Cartman will. Hey, you can't.
Boy, we're really going tangential on something.
Kenny's my favorite. Is like one of my favorite characters in the history of TV.
I don't know what I did with it. I was Kenny for Halloween once.
You were nice.
All I did was I bought a mask that was Kenny.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
Put on an orange Cohen era Warriors hoodie, maybe.
What is this?
Oh, that's too much, Bloomer. Thank you, though.
I'm not throwing Shams under the bus. I've met him before.
No, he's just complimenting.
I hope he remembers who I am, but maybe not.
You're a lucky guy, Rich, man. You know, all these cool basketball people. It's great. Now you deserve it. You work your ass off every day.
The luckiest part is that I don't have the pressures that they do. The same pressures.
No, it's funny you mentioned that.
We're different. But that's the luckiest part. But it's a combination of just my various stepping stones in life, also my family. So thank you, family.
Yeah.
Being really good.
No, absolutely. I was kind of a expensive school in England. A lot of rich kids, you know, way richer than my family, like billionaire level.
Ooh.
And they were like, "What did your family do?" Like, "Oh, my dad, like he's an entrepreneur and sold his business. He's retired. My mom's like an artist. And she art professor, and she works a couple times." Like, wait, like you have time to hang out with your family? Like, you're so lucky. It's like your dad's a billionaire, but they're always busy, man. They don't have freedom because of all the responsibility. You
When
know?
you mentioned like talking to, wait, did you go to a university somewhere in England?
No, this is high school.
Oh,
Yeah,
suddenly
so
the movie Saltburn. I thought
Yeah.
of the movie Saltburn. Have you ever seen that?
Nah.
Oh my gosh, what a movie. Good Lord. That'll open your eyes. You want to be shocked for a little bit?
Saltburn City.
Saltburn is a heck of a movie, man. Good Lord.
It's a
That
black comedy
that'll
psychological thriller.
that'll shake
Cool.
you a little bit. But it has to do with a rich family from college. A college classmate, if you will, who has a very rich family, so lives on the estate called Saltburn, and so goes to visit him one summer, and holy moly, shit happens is an understatement. That movie will jar you.
Okay. I do like horror films a lot.
It's not horror, but it'll jar you.
Well, just psychological thriller,
Yeah.
and horror, and all that
Thriller.
stuff.
AJ Johnson.
Is that next
I
pick?
don't know any of these guys.
Oh, from the NBA will be Fresno, California.
Oh, I'm sure Chris Haynes probably broke that.
You know, Fresno is like one of the largest cities in the U.S. Isn't that crazy?
Oh wow, Chris Haynes owns Fresno.
Cool.
Let's see if he had anything to do with this breaking of that news. See if he's on here. Oh, I might have to scroll down too far. Let me just search him. Crispy. So Chris Haynes, by the way, in case I didn't tell anybody at any point in time, he is the MVP of his Filipino league that he got picked up in Sacramento. Okay. I'm totally not surprised by that because
Okay.
they tend to bring in imports. The Philippines Basketball Association allows you to bring imports. So that's a thing in the Filipino community. It's also a thing when you just bring in a guy and you also bring in an accompanying doctored birth certificate. There could be that. But no, actually, they're allowed a couple of those. So they can bring in anybody. So Chris Haynes became MVP of his Filipino Recreational League in Sacramento. And the guy who picked him up used to play in my league here in the Bay.
Hey.
It's crazy.
Man,
Mike Giranilla.
6 degrees of connection everywhere, Rich.
Giranilla, where you at, man? And the funny thing is Mike Giranilla is a baller. He's like he's not on anybody's rec league all-star team, but he's like a solid 2-guard, and he loves Steph Curry, but he's a shooter, and he just shot that all day, man. That's Mike Giranilla for you. And then
You said he set shot it?
Yeah, set shot.
Oh,
just
cool.
kind of like lull you to sleep and pop. That's Mike Giranilla. Knicks are trading number 24. That makes sense. They just spent a boatload of money on acquiring Mychal Bridges' salary and extending OG Anunoby. So let's not have that guaranteed money for our first round pick. Let's give that to somebody else.
Exactly. That's why I think we will select and keep someone from our 52nd pick, by the way, because it's filling out a roster slot at the cheapest possible salary you can get.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we moved up in the second round, because
could be.
I don't know if Ighodaro is going to be there, and everybody else that Eric G's mentioned, this is the first time I'm mentioning this, just some thoughts over the last 24 hours. Everybody else that Eric G mentioned is taken before, at least they think. For example, Cam Spencer was always figured as already taken. That's Pat Spencer's brother, but he's an NCAA champion from UConn. Would have been kind of cool to have him as a Warrior. And look, maybe, how do you pronounce that? Adem Bona. Let's look at
Adam Bona.
Adam Bona. Okay. I guess he was kind of on my radar just with his size and wingspan. Shamshi is probably not the right fit. He's an ultra high upside guy. We talked about that last night. I love ultra high. Oh, well.
He's young, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's international, so I don't know how old he is. But.
Yeah, but you see, there's no Jalen Bridges around there. Let me put it this way. Some other people, some other mock drafts that I've seen have Ighodaro higher, and Keith Smith was gushing about this guy. Ighodaro is Keith Smith's favorite guy in the draft.
Wow.
I was shocked when I heard those words.
Rich, don't tell people that.
I know, right? So he was like,
we'll keep it between us.
I would just go crazy if he loves the Celtics. We know this, Keith Smith. If the Celtics at number 30 took Ighodaro, I'm like, okay, that's the first time I've ever heard Ighodaro mentioned in the first round. Are you crazy?
Yeah. Well, hey, we've been talking about this, man. Just take whoever you think is good.
Best passing big I've seen in 7 years. What? I'm sitting here. I couldn't believe what I heard. So it's kind of
Keith Smith is not generally a very over the top kind of guy. Just saying that stuff all the time about different prospects that he likes.
So that's why I think if the pick is going to be Ighodaro, you're in the second round. You can spend whatever money on that. You have Chase Center as your golden goose. Come on. What's a few million?
Yep. No, got to make the playoffs, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Got to get that playoff money.
Oh, got to. Okay. No, I mean, I think in lieu of a playoff game, let's just go get, let's check the Chase Center website. Who did they get lately that's the brilliance of this.
Let's go get Taylor Swift to do 10 straight shows in a row, and we'll pay off our tax and then some,
Exactly.
Yeah. She did 8 in a row in Wembley, by the way. Sold out. Wembley Stadium in London.
Nobody's ever done this analysis. Who did the Warriors who was playing at Chase Center when they should have been in the playoffs? Let's take a look at some names.
That's interesting, yeah.
Oh, Thrive City, no. Okay, maybe nobody. Maybe they really banked on the playoffs. Oh, look at that. Hey, that's data. AJR on a Monday. I don't know who that is. May. We're in May. Let's look at Friday. Really? You guys got nobody? How about a Saturday? Is it just Thrive City, or what is this going on here? Well, they got rock and roll play. No, maybe they didn't get anybody. It can't be. It can't be. There's probably a formula. Maybe this is just a Thrive City one because they don't have anybody. Where's the Nicki Minaj one? I guess that's in September. July. That's it. Pickleball tournament.
They have Blink 182.
When? September?
July.
Oh, okay.
9th.
Okay. July 9th, Tuesday. Wow. I stand corrected. They do not have any other ones. I don't know. Interesting. I got to put that in the notes.
Yeah.
Center.
Olivia Rodrigo, August 2nd.
Anybody
And 3rd.
in concert during playoffs?
Jane Aiko?
Knicks will now be selected. Oh, okay. I thought they would get out of the first round, but we'll see.
They picked George? Keyshawn George? Is that right?
Be right back. My bad.
I wonder, does anybody know if he's related to Keontae George? I'll try and look it up here. Oh, it's Kaishan. Sorry, Kaishan George. Nope, he's Swiss. Sheesh. Monte, Switzerland. Monte. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Monte. Near Valais, or in the canton of Valais. Crazy. Okay. So, 1, 2, 6 more picks to go. Got 7 more picks, I guess. Oh, thank you, Arbel. Says the Knicks are in talks on moving number 26 for all you people on YouTube who can't see. I see. So Washington selected Kaishan George as 24th. Yeah, Blink 182 is cool. Don't listen to much, but I like that pop punk stuff. Next one, talk on moving 26. They're selecting at 25 now.
Right. So they went to 51. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they traded 26 and 51.
I listened to you on the Kaishan, is it?
Yeah.
He's not even American?
It says he's Swiss.
Interesting.
He might be born to American parents or something, but
no relation to Keontae.
I wasn't able to see any of that. No.
Wow.
Yeah, he grew up in Switzerland. You name another guy who's Swiss?
Cephalosha.
Yeah, that's the guy I was trying to. I was trying to think of his name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love Thabo Cephalosha, man. His game.
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
I think he was really, really tough.
What was he? He was great on defense. Couldn't quite shoot. Is that it?
Yeah, I think he got hurt or something too. But when he was on defensively, he was on the Thunder, wasn't he? When they were going to the conference finals, I think so. Anyway, I always loved him, and he's Swiss. Yeah. So here's another Swiss dude in the NBA. When they asked where he wanted to go, he said, "Oh, I don't mind. I'm neutral." Going to Big Apple, though.
I just half jokingly answered Cholo. Where will JB Bickerstaff go? I go, well, he'd be good for us because he kind of looks like Mike Brown and looks mean, because that's how casuals judge, good coaches. Just surface level stuff like, we need Mike Brown. We need Mike Brown. We need Mike Brown on the bench. Oh gosh, stop it, man. You don't.
Well, I mean, I would love Mike Brown, but you can't ask him to do that over being a head coach.
Yeah, that and
You know what I mean?
Come on, give Kenny Atkinson a little break, man. He's yelling at the guys all game long. We see it every single game. They're still playing bad defense, or they're just not as good as last year.
No, I'm happy to see that the Warriors will have to shake it up a little bit in terms of bringing in new ideas. But I don't put that blame on Kenny Atkinson's feet. That's insane.
They never directly did that, but I always worry about the guy you're throwing under the bus when you're saying something, because that's what NBA players do. They're very cognizant of. That's why I try to exude that on here. They're very cognizant of when you ask them a question, and you ask them a question about, oh, do you love so and so? Do you love X? They're always very on alert that if whatever they say about X is never construed as throwing Y under the bus, which is why you get very middle of the road answers from them, very safe answers from them. It's a fraternity, and
Well, and it's kind of a positive cycle for the meeting. I don't mean that like positivity. Like they answer more honestly, but then that becomes like clickbait and for the media for short term. But then you don't get answers like that going forward, and that's why these player run podcasts are so excellent, because they both understand where each other's at, and they're not really trying to get the biggest headline. They just want to talk to them openly, and that's something you're great at, Rich. Is not trying to no gotcha moments or whatever kind of crap that is, whatever you call that. So I think that's. I would like player interviews to be more interesting than they generally are, because I think they have a lot to say. They're just,
and it's
as
not
you said,
even,
constantly looking over their shoulder.
You know what it is? What I've concluded after all these years, it's the state of the industry. It's the reporters are just doing their job. Unfortunately, their job has not evolved over decades. We're talking,
They lost a little access to them in the locker room too.
Horse-drawn buggies. Like you are doing what you're doing to get a quote in a story that's going to go in a newspaper format. Like we don't want that anymore as consumers. We're done with that. We want something different. And so that's why guys like, Anthony Slater are thriving, because he added video element to it. He doesn't give it to you every single time, but when it counts, he'll give it to you. When it's Klay in the Nets locker room talking about why he was benched in the fourth quarter, he'll get you that, right? So that's how everybody should do their job as a ESPN reporter. And most ESPN guys, they don't want to do that because it's too much. I've literally heard that. Trust me. They got hired.
Well, that's ridiculous for hearing you say that, considering how hard you work, Rich, every day with all those videos.
My goodness, guys. Arbel, thank you.
Daddy
It was obviously Eric G's favorite guy in the draft.
A couple other people I've been listening to, they really like him. They really like
2 weeks or maybe a month. The first time that we had Eric G on here in the postseason, in the off season, Eric G had us having a chance at Dottie, second rounder. Then he moves up all the way up to like 30, where it's the Celtics. And, people are going, dang, if the Celtics get Dottie, 25 now. He just moved up from 30 to 25.
And this is for the Knicks, right? This is actually going to New York.
What a pick. If Eric G wanted the Warriors to pick this guy, this guy has got some upside.
I agree.
The stats.
It doesn't always work that way. A lot of people
up.
like one prospect, but most of the time, the more people like that who like them, the more realistic it is.
I swear to you, they had Dottie at 30 just a couple days ago. So he moved up even here, and then he moved up even one more.
Yeah, really.
6'8", wing.
Tacon Dadier. Man, this is They ought to put up the Arc de Triomphe outside of Barclays tonight, man.
Yeah.
The day of glory has arrived.
Yeah.
That's a wild. Have you ever seen a translation of La Marseillaise, Rich, the French national anthem?
Mm-mm.
It's a pretty wild anthem, man.
Why is it?
Oh, just kind of like, how the U.S. anthem has rockets and bombs bursting in the air and stuff like that.
Yeah, but how old is their anthem? Does it predate Napoleon?
Yeah, it's early French Revolution, I think.
Wow,
from Marseille.
It got in there.
From Marseille. What?
What's it got? What did they talk about?
Oh, like our enemy, like the the repressors of the people's blood will flow in our fields.
Yeah,
And stuff like that. It's wild, dude.
remember a friendly reminder as we have MVP JB. What's up?
Yep.
Is that you, Jalen? Jalen Brown?
Yeah, no, he would know what pick we have. Sorry. I'm sure Jalen Brown knows.
Maybe not.
That's all good. It's all
Maybe
good.
he's been busy, earning trophies. Who knows? But anyway,
it could be.
I
Working at
can't.
NASA.
Tomorrow, 5:15 p.m. around. I mean, we're going to go live at 4, right when it starts, second round.
I
4.
thought it started at 1.
My fault. I got it all wrong. I always mess up my Eastern times. Rich, come on. Delete. Tomorrow, and did I put that
4
in?
Eastern, yeah. So it's 1 Pacific.
Yeah, I put it 1 in the description. Okay. 1:15. That's why, because I texted Doc Martin. He's on the East Coast already.
Well, I thought you said 5:15 for him.
Yep, which is
So
2:15 for us.
Yeah, 2:15. Yeah.
We'll start at 1 p.m. though.
Okay. I really like this format. This is so nice, man. Just being on here for another couple picks. Had a good.
It's kind of good to not have a pick and just go nuts about that one pick and keep talking.
Yeah, fun. It's fun.
We'll take any situation. That's why we're different than most channels. Is that whatever happens with the Warriors, we just roll with it.
Yep.
There's no complaining here. We don't have any. We're too happy to complain about anything.
Well, I mean, gonna watch Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and hopefully Klay next year, no matter what, So
Literally, the only time I complain is in the process of a Steph turnover. That's the only time I really complain. Or
well, everybody's passionate during the game, 19th man on the bench. It's all good.
Yeah. No. What's ironic though is I think when Steph makes a turnover, those casuals and the other channels, they just don't, or people on Twitter mainly, they don't get as mad about that. I don't get. It's just like really weird psychology.
Well, Steph shut everybody up about criticizing him, so I'm okay with that.
True.
And casuals are going to be casuals, man.
Exactly.
It's not quite to the same level, but if I went up to a nuclear physicist and was like, "Hey, bro, your calculations suck," that would be totally ridiculous, I mean, they might not have good basketball opinions, and I'd be confident talking about that, but I just don't know anything about nuclear physics,
I know some stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you do, Rich. We're not talking about you,
man. Equation stuff. No, what do you want to know?
I don't want to know anything, really.
Dylan Jones, this NBA draft had Dylan Jones at 47, and he's going to go at 26?
It's the same guy with a different spelling, right?
Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Oh, you're saying it's one guy. Yeah, we'll see. ESPN will stay true to the TV broadcast. But is it Dylan? Got to be, right? That's copy and paste by Orbell, right? So why is it spelled different there?
See, we got John Smith II. I'm telling you, man. There's going to be 2 guys.
Dillon. Wait, how did you spell that wrong, bro? But anyways.
Maybe he typed it in by hand.
Appreciate you. Probably
doing
did.
Real yeoman's work.
Dylan Jones was 47th projected by NBA Draft.net. And he just went as a first rounder. And he is, what are his stats? 6'6".
Forward? Yeah, should have got small forward.
Wow. Okay.
Well, they trade FD.
Proposed trade. Why are they? There's a trade? They're going to trade him to OKC? I don't know what's going on. Why does my TV say proposed trade?
Is it with the Knicks?
Why would they do that? Huh. Unless they totally covet. Maybe they covet Dylan Jones so much that they moved up.
Oh.
OKC did. I don't know. I wasn't listening. But there was a OKC logo there. And see any other mention. Let's go to Twitter.
Oh.
5 picks? What's he talking about? What's 5 picks? What's 5 picks? Someone got traded for 5 picks?
5 picks. That was the Mychal Bridges one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but why would Keith Smith suddenly tweet that right now? Oh, wait a minute.
Second round. Oh, interesting.
I mean, this, you know what this tells me? Dylan Jones is a baller. Like, okay, OKC just moved up tremendously to pick that guy. I mean,
they're also probably trying to get off some picks if they can, just because they have kind of too many.
So many.
Yeah.
Here's OKC here. Who did they pick today? Did they pick anybody?
Yeah, they had a pick. It was right there, I think. Scrolled past it.
There it is. It wasn't this guy. It was 12 was
this Carrington is what they called him when they traded him, right?
No. That was wrong though. Or maybe that was right. How do I find the actual board? Maybe I'll go back to NBA. Yeah, NBA for the static board.
They got Topic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. I'm pretty sure I heard about the guy at 12. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. That's a nice swap out of Giddey and get Topic, huh? Don't you think?
Well, I haven't seen Topic play. But if you can shoot, that'll probably help them a lot. And they got Caruso, bro.
I know, yeah.
Oh man. Chicago. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Where are you going?
The reason why that is Warriors related is because it made OKC so much harder to beat for us. Like, golly, man.
Well, Caruso, anytime I saw him play, where he was healthy, he's just one of those guys who, I don't know what it is. Their stats don't really matter. It's more just that that they're going to impact winning. But they had Gordon Hayward too, as a pickup.
Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen.
I wonder if they keep him and take him off the bench. And J-Dub, his brother's a jazz man, by the way. Today.
Yeah, but Gordon Hayward is bitter. He's not going to stay at OKC.
Oh, he wasn't. Yeah, really? I hadn't heard that. I didn't know that.
Not bitter, but he wasn't happy about it. He literally said that on the podium exit interview. He was like, "It wasn't what I expect. I expected to play more." Ooh.
I really don't like that from guys who have made a lot of money, and we're on a playoff team. I don't get the I just want to be on the best team possible. If the team's good, I'll be good. Right? That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Right?
And Sam Presti handled it well. He went on the podium.
Oh, he's a pro, yeah.
And, it's like, yeah, we thought he would play more too. And, I'm paraphrasing, but, kind of like, my bad, totally paraphrasing both sides. But
I don't know what was going on in OKC. There's a possibility that something happened where Hayward really should have played and they didn't do it. But I mean,
or maybe he just didn't play well in practices, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for a vet like that, I'm not as concerned with practice, but
that's not an easy situation to get into where you're landing in the spot in February and then
they were the number one team in the West, man. What's there to complain about?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly. But there's that, and then I come back to the Klay example. Klay, what is there to complain about? But then that's what makes him great. That's what makes
but Klay, man, Klay.
I mean, you'd like to have Gordon Hayward have a chip on his shoulder, right? I mean, that's the case. That's the
Certainly.
thing
Yeah.
with basketball, right? At the end of the day, you're having sword fights without swords. So, like, I mean,
Mhm.
still,
No, I understand that. It's just Klay, Clay's getting paid millions of dollars, and I think he put pressure on himself. Like,
oh, for
oh,
sure.
they can't miss the playoffs with me playing on there, and then we did, and
Yeah.
it's a little different than being like if Klay were acting this way and we'd been the number one seed and had we had the season the Nuggets had, that would be a different feeling. I understand a little bit more with the frustration of not being able to make it into the playoffs, and prove your worth a little bit more with Klay. But I know a lot more about Klay situation just from an outside perspective than I know anything about Gordon Hayward. So I guess I really shouldn't be talking about Hayward like that. But
no, you have a point. Point taken. Yeah. Especially on a team like OKC.
So I'm the Robin now, huh? I used to be Batman and he was Superman. Now I'm Robin.
Oh,
My talent is.
I always want to be Batman. Yeah. My
I don't
favorite
care.
all time, man. Love Batman.
Batman's pretty cool. I always like Batman more than Superman too. Because
Yeah.
he was Superman's invincible,
Oh yeah, it's a little too much. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I never really liked Superman at all. But
I mean, it's cool.
But I understand it now.
Great theme song.
I'm actually glad Zack Snyder did the takes that he did, because then I actually liked Superman more from that take, as dark as it was.
Oh, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Huh? Man of Steel? That
Oh,
right? Oh, okay. So he made Superman kind of, it was a darker story where the General Zod came to Earth to, I don't recall everything, so this is a horrible summary of it. But so in the process of the battle between Superman and General Zod, there were a lot of innocent bystanders. So
kind of guilty conscience.
yeah, so it wasn't the it wasn't the fairy tale version of Superman like the Christopher Reeve rendition.
Have you ever watched Happy Tree Friends, Rich?
By the way, Ryan Dunn, one of the better defenders. I love defenders, so I like this pick for Denver. Love pick.
No, it's Phoenix.
I do it, but isn't it? Oh, it's for Phoenix.
I think so. I mean, that's what Arbel's saying.
28 pick.
Oh, is that right? Or wait a minute, they trade 22nd for 28.
What? Hold on. They already made the trade, right? No, it's Denver, so they must have traded it. So Phoenix gets Ryan Dunn, maybe.
Huh.
Let's look at Twitter.
How is Phoenix making these trades?
Oh, but the pick, there it is. Pick is going to the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I think that was from earlier when they made the trade.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but so Phoenix will get a defender. Okay. Good for
Well,
Phoenix.
I get what Phoenix is doing. They're trying to get some players who aren't just vet minimums on their roster, So I do think that's kind of smart.
Yeah.
One great thing about the draft too, we all want this to be not that significant in terms of what they actually accomplish, but all these guys have just changed their life money-wise in one sentence. Think about that, man.
Other thing
that's kind of beautiful,
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why that one guy cried,
Oh yeah, Dunn was crying a little bit here too.
It's official. You're a millionaire,
Yep.
And you earned it.
You buy your mom a house, mom and dad a house. You can pay off your loans. Send your
it was like
siblings to college. It's
put a lot
amazing.
of work into this, and you just earned a multi-million-dollar contract.
Oh, definitely.
Some of these are like double-digit million guaranteed. Like that's crazy for the next probably 5 years, unless let's face it, unless you get injured or you really flop, and chances are you're not going to really flop. So yeah, there's always the injury risk a la James Wiseman.
Yeah.
For
Well,
your-
I really want to see Wiseman on just like a normal, not the Warriors championship, not the Pistons like madness,
James
worst
Wiseman-
record in the NBA almost.
James Wiseman has made probably close to $40 million, right?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Which after taxes, okay, 20 million. He's at worst
Oh, in Michigan now? I don't know.
guy. Huh?
In Michigan too?
You just worst case scenario can't be more than 50%.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I've noticed as we have the reason, I think the main reason why I love having the NBA draft.net board on here is that you can tell if a team kind of really liked a guy, so they picked him before here. 9 times out of 10, that'll tell you this. So they're so good that these are so like probably what's going to happen, even though this draft is harder than usual because it's not as deep.
No, just the amount of research they put in is insane, man.
Them getting
Amazing.
Ryan Dunn right here. I mean, they thought it'd be second round. So, and then you see guys picking from above that dropped. Isaiah Collier. So Isaiah Collier was like projected 19 by NBA Draft. So NBA Draft.net. So like who picked right now?
Jazz.
Utah.
Right before that.
Utah's probably really happy to get Collier right here. So
I wonder if they're going to do something. I like that Ainge is picking one pick before the Celtics here.
Are they going to do something with Sexton because they just picked a point? Is he a point guard?
No, I don't think so.
Wait, who just got picked?
This is you want to try and replace Sexton normally with the 29th pick.
6'3", 205. Okay.
So maybe backup point guard or something.
They don't put the position on here? Come on.
That's a little strange. I mean, at least the height.
Company. Something. I like how Rashad Phillips has totally new terminology for positions.
Which is what?
They're just going to go, like combo guard, wing, different types. Pretty cool, actually. They should do that, but
yeah, well, that makes sense,
They're not going to do it that way, though.
Point guard, combo guard, shooting guard.
6'3".
Wing, small forward, power forward, tweener, center, stretch big. What was that, 10? I like that.
Boston Celtics. Here we go.
Yeah.
Then
Celtics close out. Yeah, this is great, man. Just the amount of time this draft is going on, and it'll make the second round like people are getting tired.
You were saying second round is. I'm glad that they did that. So today I see 2 tweets from a let's call it an aggregator that has a group, a staff of credential guys per team. You can probably figure out who I'm talking about. And 2 of those guys are like, oh, this is so stupid. It's why would they do? Really? You didn't do your journalistic duty to go see why did they do it this way. The reason why they did it this way was because the second round was being too rushed, and there were stories coming out. Yesterday, Dunleavy on the podium, or 2 days ago, goes, sometimes in the second round, it's just so crazy that you don't even know who's picking that moment in time.
It also gives more times for trades, really.
I know. Don't you want more trades?
Yeah.
Clutch points. Oh, my bad.
Or The Athletic or Locked On Network or whoever it was that Rich is talking about. Yeah.
No, you said.
Think a
I
little.
don't mind you saying athletic.
Oh, sorry.
We're not here to.
Well, I'm just trying to think of places that have reporters for every team, Rich.
I'm kidding. No, but that's fine. Yeah, it's all good. No, it's we know people that do very good jobs for the aforementioned brand names. Doesn't mean that
Not as good as this, though.
those particular individuals, they're doing a great job, but I mean certain ones that sometimes do a good job and then other times will tweet a complaint, like they're complaining, like, why are we doing the second round on another day? Like, man.
Well, I
should
wonder
never
what
be
they think
complaining.
is better. Like why the
As
old
a
format would be
credentialed
better.
journalist, you should never complain on Twitter. And there are very well respected people on. That's why I love Slater. I love Slater. I love Kawakami too. The only time he complains is when there's a complaint to him, like there's some Warriors casual guy. So then he'll go to battle with that guy. That's okay. You get a free pass on those. And other, most other ones. But then there are other times you see somebody's like, I just wish people would stop complaining. You got your credential, you're highly respected credential member.
Hey,
Be a journalist. Journalists don't complain.
Baylor Shearman. Looks
Who
like
is that?
I'd heard about him. I'd heard about him.
Here, 27 dropped to 30, I guess. Quote unquote dropped.
They showed him playing against Bronny James though, and I thought the Celtics took Bronny, which would have been that would have been a storyline, man.
That
Taking him 30th.
Fairy tale NBA. That would run the news cycle for.
They do have the pick right before the Lakers. They have the 54th pick as well, or whatever it is now. They had the one. The Celtics have the one right before the Lakers, so they still might. They still might do that. Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be, yes. Well, I tell you what, tomorrow's going to be really interesting. Really super duper interesting.
I think so too, man. I think there have been some trades today, but no major players so far got traded during draft night.
Here. We're so lucky to have Eric G, like,
Yep.
It's like a car in a showroom with the cover on it, and he like unveils it for you. The whole second round is like, it's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Reid, sorry, what was his name? Reid, what was his last name? How do you pronounce it? Ouse? Ouse?
Oh, it's like OC, like Orange County.
OC, right. OC, sorry.
Yeah.
Reid Ouse. Yeah. He was great to talk to, man. Love having him on too.
He told me he pronounced it that way. He goes, oh, it's just like OC, Orange County. So that's a great way to remember his name. Well, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we hop off? Next live.
Who's our guest tomorrow again?
Doc Martin.
Martin.
He was there when Portland picked Greg Oden. He was in the war room for Portland. One p.m.
Western.
Me.
Pacific. Sorry.
Who will GSW pick? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Will there be movement of some stars in the second night of the draft? Now that these teams have a lot of their contract stuff a little bit worked out, I wonder.
Thank you, Arbel, for doing all the picks for us, writing them in the comments.
Yeah, Arbel, you get the player of the game ball, man, and belt and whatever. Absolutely.
Draft MVP. And the jersey result
on Twitch too.
48% like the jerseys, 26 do not.
Or was it 20?
You know what I thought was interesting? why did they release these on the morning of the draft? Is there anything to be read into that? Is it like we better do this in case Klay isn't a Warrior next week, right? Like let's give it a week. We got to at least be able to sell Klay Thompson Warrior jerseys with the new one for a week. Is that it? Can you buy a Klay?
Maybe. I don't know. Can you buy one already? I mean, you can definitely buy one, I'm sure, and customize and put Thompson in number 11. But
It's not the same. And when you run an online store, you want to just have it ready to go.
yeah, I know. I'm saying I don't know if they're selling them yet. Mike, if I were to guess, it would be to introduce that logo, maybe as something a little bit bigger for their cap or something like that. You know, it won't be the primary logo. Obviously, it'll still be the Bay Bridge in the circle. But my guess is it's part of draft planning and having the uniforms ready for the.
Is it because we didn't have a first round pick and today you would probably get more eyeballs today than any other day? That's probably a combination.
And just having the jerseys ready for the players to wear too. I wonder if maybe other teams also had their Jordan, because it's Nike mostly right now, right? But then the Jordan brand gets the statement jerseys or what was it called? Is it statement?
Yeah,
the statement jerseys.
which I don't understand those, but yeah, someone explained that to me.
I think there are different tiers of jerseys that you can unlock throughout the season or something that they get to play in.
Okay.
And it's just a way to get more money off having a different style of jersey. You know?
Yeah, that's the Nike apparel genius. Yeah, let's call this statement jersey. Let's call that city edition. Let's call that whatever they call it. Classic. I forget what the names are. Yeah, that's genius. Okay, so
well, it's cool too because you know, if you unlock or if you unlock, I'm talking about it's a video game. If you hit a certain level, you're going to start playing in these new jerseys, right? And then the people will associate that season with this certain type of jersey because they're playing well, right?
Oh, okay.
So I think that's one of the things.
So it's video game related.
In what way?
Oh, then what do you mean by unlock?
No, like if you hit I don't know, if you have a 10-game winning streak or something, they'll release another style of that jersey. You get what I mean?
Oh, are you proposing an idea?
No, I think that's how it already works.
Wait, what? Say that one more time.
So I remember looking this up, and there was like certain city editions or statement editions or whatever they were called, where like if the team got into the top 6 draft or whatever, it's not draft, top 6 in the playoff standings, that would like unlock this jersey for the team to be able to use. And it was like a different style. Yeah. So if you were having a really good season, you would like unlock those jerseys, and then you would associate that with this really great season. Or if you had an all-star, I forget what the requirements were, but I remember looking that up.
Interesting.
Who's Mario or Luigi? Aren't those like video game characters, Bruce?
Huh.
I might be wrong about this, but I remember looking it up. And,
That's the first time I heard of that. Who's Kenner? I don't know. I don't know either of those references as well. All right.
All good, though. This is a lot of fun, Rich. Thank you.
We can talk about it tomorrow, Bruce. All right. Just us, everybody.
Yeah, let's go.
See you tomorrow.
Justice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I got to screenshot this. Even though we don't even really know all of the draft picks. Thanks, Bruce. Brate, or as far as today goes, with all the French being selected, Mon frère.
Mon frère.
Yeah. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you. See you.